No!
That's another great question.
From the Gettysburg Museum of History Studios, high atop Baltimore Street, in a maximum security facility complete with central air, it's AG Today.
Hello, folks. It's Patrick Gorman.
Hi, this is Jake Busey.
Hi, this is Bruce Boxleitner.
This is Tom Vera from Gettysburg Christmas.
Hi, this is Bo Brinkman.
And you're listening to Addressing Gettysburg. I'm glad you're listening. Thank you.
There's a devil to pay.
It's all covered. Did you say Abe Lincoln?
And you're going diarrhea.
Good night, everybody. Bonfire.
You're listening to
Addressing Gettysburg Today.
I love this podcast.
Oh, exactly!
Chick-fil-A corporate is very protective of their taste profile. And you're going diarrhea.
So,
I'm not sure I believe you. You sexist bitch. You hit the nail on the head.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Addressing Gettysburg Today. I am Matt, and with me today is just a cast of characters, a cavalcade of clowns, if you will.
You're not wrong.
So Veronica couldn't make it today. Normally Bethany fills in, but Bethany is on vacation. So follow along here, folks. Filling in for Bethany today is our dear friend, Googler of the show's Googler, and as of last week, the new title that she bears, associate producer, and now third string fill-in co-host, or second, I don't know what it is, Debbie Jones. Welcome, Debbie, to the co-host chair.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. How are you doing?
I'm good. I am good.
Anything new and exciting in your life?
New and exciting.
Yeah.
Not so much new. Exciting is I actually won't be here next week.
Right, that is exciting. Why is that exciting? Where are you going to be?
I will be heading out to Wisconsin for Milwaukee Irish Fest. I've been going to this for 20 years now.
Really?
Yep, third weekend of August every year.
Now, what is the draw? What's it like?
It is, well, it's the largest Irish festival, at least in this hemisphere.
Okay. The largest Irish festival, but not like, it doesn't compare to New York St. Patrick's Day Parade, does it? As far as,
yes, it does.
Really?
Yeah, thousands of people show up for this. It's
It's only like dozens in New York.
3.5 solid days of music and culture and dancing and
Really?
food, and oh my gosh, it's a blast.
So people get out there and do the Michael Flatley.
Oh yes.
Yeah?
Yes, there's usually a dozen or so different dance academies that show up on the various stages and do performances, usually multiple times over the course of the weekend. And so I've made tons of friends going to this. So some of these friends this is the one time a year I get to see them. So.
And do you have a lot of cheese when you go there?
A fair amount, yes.
I would
There's
imagine.
a well-known stand that has the best cheese curds ever.
Really?
Yes.
So you don't think of Milwaukee or Wisconsin in general as a place with a lot of Irish people. That's more like what, like Scandinavian, or who are the people that, where's that accent come from?
Yeah, most of the people who settle like the upper Midwest area, yeah, that's going to be a lot of Scandinavian. But Milwaukee has a surprisingly large Irish community.
Does it really? Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? Everybody's everywhere.
Pretty much.
Speaking of St. Olaf, I started watching The Golden Girls on. Dude, let me tell you something. That was probably the funniest frickin' show of the 80s. We also our friend Amy Welsh is here. Amy is she's from community media, but she's also here because I had her recording a commercial earlier for Eric Dorr. Amy, pull the mic to you and join this conversation here. And of course, Colby. Now, Colby, do you remember the 80s? You don't. When were you born?
I was born in 88.
88. So this is all. Did you catch reruns?
There was a lot of 80s left over though in the early 90s.
Well, sure. But did you catch reruns of the Golden Girls? Are you familiar with what we're talking about?
Yes, I am familiar with it. I was a big because Cheers was on TV constantly when I was a kid, and so naturally I'm a big Cheers guy.
You
I
like Cheers,
except for Diane. I hate Diane.
Really?
Yeah, she drives me, dude.
Wait, you like Kirstie Alley better than Shelley Long?
I'm not a big Kirstie Alley fan either. You know.
What was her name? Rebecca?
Yeah, she played Rebecca and
Rebecca Howe.
Yep.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yep. And
I thought they were both good. I thought they were both good foils or not foils, but go ahead.
When you've watched it enough, you know the character. I'm just talking about not that they were bad actresses or anything.
Right.
The characters though drove me nuts. Like especially Diane's, because it's just the same thing over and over and over again with her.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is the same formula. That's
yeah. But there's not a lot of development. It makes sense why she left when she did. I was super bummed when Coach died though. Coach
was funny. And then they replaced him with Woody, right? Or was Woody already there?
I mean, that was a win.
Yeah,
that was a win.
So Coach was in the early days, and I'm trying to remember.
The first 2 seasons.
Was he dumb like Woody?
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't. I wouldn't say he was dumb, but he said a lot of dumb things. I'm trying to think of like a good like one-liner of his off the spot, but it's a lot of dumb humor. They'll say one thing to him with one intent behind it, and he'll take it as something different.
Yes, like he's not sophisticated. He's not sharp.
Right.
Okay. So anyway, Golden Girls though. I'm watching this, and now I'm watching it as an adult, not a kid, and I skipped to the second season because you got to buy them; they're not there for free. So I'm like, first seasons are always kind of shitty, so I'm gonna go right to the second season. The second season, though, I mean, for a second season, I mean, man, they really hit their stride. I got to go now and watch the first season again because it is hilarious. The humor, though, when you're a little kid, it flies right over your head.
Oh, yeah.
You don't get half of the jokes, right? Like, I had no idea that Blanche was such a hussy, as a little kid. But now I'm like, man, and this is in the 80s. This is like 1985, the second season, I think, came out. And it's like really racy for, Reagan's America, or at least what I think of it as, but it's fun.
It's one of those shows that it doesn't matter how many times you watch it, the jokes are still funny.
They're still hilarious, yeah. And Sophia, and the delivery's great. Sophia with the fart joke, she's always there's always a passing wind joke with her. And I think she was the youngest in the cast.
Yeah. I think
Estelle Getty, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of them are dead.
I know.
No, it's a thing that I have. I don't remember where I was talking about this, but when my grandfather was alive, we'd watch something on TV, and some old movie would be on, and in the middle of nowhere, for no reason whatsoever, he would just be like, "They're all dead."
Like, thanks.
I'd be like, "Huh?" And he'd be like, "All of them, they're dead. All these people are dead." And I'm like, "Okay." I didn't understand why he was fascinated with that, but now I do the same thing.
And why do you do it?
It's like this. I have to imagine that it's like this dawning that, oh my God, man, I'm getting old. Like all these people.
Exactly.
Well, that's part of it. It depends on what I'm watching. I mean, if I'm watching a movie from the 50s,
no.
I mean, obviously they're going to mostly all be dead. Not all of them, but most of them, right?
Yeah.
But no, I think there is a part of it is getting older. Yeah, it's like I'm realizing my own mortality, and I'm realizing that these people that we all watch in these movies and stuff, they're so larger than life, And you know, we don't always think of them, especially when we're younger, that they're actually people,
Right.
Yeah.
right? They're the image and all that crap. And I guess, like, you know, now when you realize they're all dead, you're realizing these are human beings and they get old and decrepit and they get cancer, they have heart attacks, they have drug overdose, they all the other thing, and they're dead. And yeah, so I it is weird. But also, we're not meant to see and hear dead people. Like, most of human history, you know, maybe you had a painting of a dead person, maybe a drawing or something to represent what they looked like.
Scholastic written.
Up till Antietam, really. Like
Yeah, well, I mean, up until the camera was invented, you know, you weren't meant to see people who have left this earth. And here we are watching people singing, dancing, talking, doing whatever the hell they're doing, and
We
they're
don't even
dead.
think about it.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
No, we don't. Well,
So,
I do.
I was in Ohio recently, and our neighbors in Ohio, we live in the Appalachian Mountains, are an Amish family. And I had a picture from 25 years ago of me on a pack mule, and this happened to be the one of this Amish farmers' mules. And I would ride this pack mule up the mountain and back down, whatever. And I happened to have a picture of it. So when I was there, I had brought it to the family, and I said, "Hey, I found this picture of Jack, your mule, from 25 years
Jack, your
ago."
mule.
And I gave it to him.
dirty.
Wait,
I'm sorry. No. Me and Colby are 12 years old.
Always.
Yeah.
It's just ruined my story.
Sorry.
And when I had given him the picture, being in my mindset, I thought it would be like, "Oh yeah, that's great, thanks." But he had paused on it for such a long time, and he looked up at me and he said, "You know, in my whole life," but he said it with his accent.
Yeah.
So let me
Right.
do that.
Do
"You
it.
know, in my whole life, I never thought I would ever see a picture of this mule of mine. How important he was to me. I keep this now forever."
Wow.
And I never
and you were
thought
like,
about
well, no, I
that.
need that back for my wall.
I did. Oh, that wasn't a gift. It was just like I wanted to show you. No, but so I had given it to him, but it dawned on me, and you don't think about the Amish do not save photographs. They do not have this type of connection that
Right.
we were just talking
That's a
about.
technology that'd be forbidden.
Would it though? They had
it's-
photographs in the 1850s. What year did the Amish say, "Okay, we're done"? Do you know? Like,
Where did they pause time at?
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. When did they hit the pause button? Debbie, you've got
pretty sure
two
the
hats to
pause-
wear
I
now,
know,
right?
I know.
You got to Google and you got to be part of the show. But like, yeah, that's weird. Like,
So
like
this family, they paused. They make all their own clothes, buttons.
Yes, sure.
They don't have zippers.
wooden
all
buttons, button fly, which is the most annoying type of fly ever.
They till
Right.
their land still
Right,
using
sure.
mules.
Mm-hmm.
They have nothing electric, no electricity. They do not use battery operated items. They can use lanterns with oil.
Right.
They hand make pretty much everything. They grow and slaughter their foods.
Yeah, they're
No photographs, no telephone. They do not ride in vehicles.
no boat, no light, no motor car, not a single luxury. Like
It's
Robinson
based on what
Crusoe.
you think luxury is, though, because when I was there, I definitely thinking like, wow, you guys have no luxuries. But here's the luxury they have. Their entire community, their family is all very close in proximity to them.
Mm.
Every Sunday, they're together, and everybody celebrates each other.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh no, maybe the Ohio Amish.
This
I don't want to
area
offend the
does.
Amish community watching right
But
now,
that's
but
a luxury that so many of us just moving around and missing opportunities.
yeah, no, oh, yeah, absolutely.
So it
yeah.
depends on where you put your emphasis on luxury.
Well, that was those were lyrics from the Gilligan's Island theme song. So
Does
no
the
boat, no light, no. And shit. Now I got
But I
to.
don't think luxury's on there.
Yeah, not a single luxury.
Single luxury.
Like Robinson Crusoe, it's primitive as can be.
Well, dude, I can tell you that, especially on my second deployment, the one I did to Afghanistan. I mean, it was primitive living a lot of
Oh,
the
I bet.
time. And honestly, when I got back for years afterwards, I missed that quality of it so much it was ridiculous. It's there's something so enjoyable. I mean, at first there's like the withdrawal from everything, you know, like civilization. Like you miss having your phone, you miss being able to take a hot shower, and you know, XYZ, you name it. But after you get accustomed to all that and you've kind of gone through the withdrawals, it is super enjoyable and like
really
way
is.
less stressful in a weird way.
It really is. I think we.
Well, yeah, because you don't have all the bullshit to deal with. Living primitively.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
difficult.
There's times, I mean, Cindy can attest to this. We have conversations, and I'm like, sometimes I just want to buy a cabin on top of a mountain, build several machine gun nests around it, and just keep the world away and just live out my life. What?
That would do it.
Yeah.
Machine gun nests.
Yeah, I mean, it would just be the nest. I don't have machine guns. I don't know where you get them, but still, like
know
you
a
know,
guy.
do you know a guy? But I think sometimes I really think. But then again, then I think about it and I go, well, my back would be really sore because I got to do all the work, right? I gotta chop the wood. It would improve, but at first I might cripple myself. So you know, you got to be careful. And then
You'd have to work up to being able to work primitive, you know.
Yeah, of course. And then you know, being sick, I have a cold. I'm staying home today. That's not going to fly with a primitive life. You got to
That's
work.
why you need a community, though, if you're living primitive.
Yeah, but you know what? Most people really are disappointing. Like sooner or later.
Yeah, I mean, I
realize.
get that. But if you do it, I mean, if you were able to get a good group, you wouldn't need a humongous group, but a decent sized group. That way, if someone's sick or injured or whatever, like others pick up the slack there.
Matt, you'd last 2 days on the show alone.
Oh yeah.
Drop you off.
No, I'd never. No, I couldn't
You'd
do
do
it.
like 1 day of like comic relief. Day 2, you'd sing every song that you knew
Right.
to like a stick microphone. You'd like twist. You'd be like, "Come on, my baby," and then day 3, you'd hit the button. Like, I think I'm good.
Yeah, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
I think you'd hit 2 miles of walking and be like, game over. I'm done.
Oh, I'd go half a mile. I'd find a comfortable place to sit, and I'd be like, if I don't move for however long I have to stay here, I won't be hungry. If I don't
Is that the
expend
thinking?
energy,
Okay.
I won't need to create it. So I'll just lay here
Like a slug.
like a slug, and then if I need to use the restroom, I'll use it and then roll to a nice clean spot.
I give you 2 days.
A real sniper kind of lifestyle.
Yeah,
Huh?
I give you
Exactly.
2 days.
I'll crawl on my belly like a reptile. That's what I'll do. Speaking of singing my favorite songs on the first day, last week karaoke came up. It was a listener was had sent me an email and said, you guys should do a karaoke on AG Today, a karaoke contest. And I was like, I'll see if anybody wants to go along with it. And Veronica, we had to pull teeth to get her. Debbie,
we did.
I don't even know if we actually have her though. That's the thing.
We'll
like,
have
that seemed
her.
like a. That seemed like a. Yeah, sure.
She'll try to weasel out of it, but we'll get her. And then Debbie was like somewhat reluctant, but you were a sport and you said, okay, what the hell, right?
Yep.
Colby and I, we're goofballs, so we'll do anything, right? And actually, Colby's got a very nice singing voice. A lot of people don't realize Colby had a band, like a successful band.
I mean, it's successful on a spectrum.
You were touring.
Well, just tease us a little. Give us something.
No, not today. Not today.
Oh.
You didn't need another edible, did you?
No. Our new puppy's been keeping us up the last few
So
nights.
his voice doesn't. Yeah, I see
yes,
how
the
that
new
works.
Well, no,
puppy.
it's not. I don't know. The voice might be fine. I'm tired today, man. And I've been working all day.
Yeah, well, I know the puppy pain feeling is. I was exhausted for the first couple of weeks, but it gets better. You get used to it, and you realize you're never going to get any sleep or rest, at least for a year.
Yeah, it's a year. It's all right.
Yeah, who needs it? And anyway, so the karaoke thing. Now, Colby, you left a voicemail yesterday, and you said you had an idea for karaoke, and I said text you. I sent you a text today, and I said, and by the way, ladies and gentlemen, 717-420-1978. We want you to call in. The phone line is open. Call in. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Should we do it? What are the ideas? Some people commented on the Patreon post of last week's show. With their ideas for songs. So I'd like to hear.
Should the audience pick them?
Well, that's another way. So that's what I want to talk about today. But Colby, I want to hear your idea first. I said to you, save it for the show. Don't tell me ahead of time. let's get a discussion going on this, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, 717-420-1978. Go ahead.
Well, okay, so I'm gonna correct you there. I have an idea separate from the karaoke. I actually have questions. So if the audience isn't going to be picking songs, who's picking whose songs? Because the three of us get to pick each other's songs, and
Right.
I would personally like to pick yours.
I wanted you to pick mine. Yeah. So I was thinking you would pick mine. I would pick Debbie's.
And
Debbie would pick yours.
Okay, so do we have any like parameters for the song? Because we could we could pick each other the most difficult songs in the
Yes.
world to sing, and it would be funny.
This
But
is
like,
great question, Colby. I'm glad you asked this.
Like, do we have parameters?
Great question. And the reason it's a great question is because I had the same question. We need to set the parameters. What are the songs? Now, before we get to that, though, let me ask you, do you want to pick each other's? Do you want the audience to pick? Or do you want to go the Veronica route and we pick our own? What do you feel more comfortable with? I feel like if we go the Veronica route, we're chickening out. There's no challenge there.
No, I'm not.
Right?
We don't need to pick our own.
Okay, so that's off the table. So now it's, do we pick or does the audience pick? Debbie, you first.
For me, it's probably going to be bad either way.
For all of us, it's going to be bad.
Listen, yeah, you're just going to have to let go of that pride. You know?
I know. I don't know. I think it'd be kind of fun to let the audience pick. Then you get the audience participation.
I mean, that is fun.
I agree. Then we have everybody involved there. Okay, so then, so I agree with Debbie. Audience, I think, should be the way to go. Colby, what do you say? Well, it doesn't matter. It's settled. 2-1. Yeah, you lose.
My sister wants to know if she can pick mine. No, you may not.
Well, all right. So now we have to set the parameters.
Yeah, because if especially if we can't talk about it off air at all.
Right.
If they're just picking our songs, there should be some parameters.
Right. We have to figure out, we have to give them some guidelines here, also known as parameters. So, what do you think they should be?
I don't know, though. That's the problem.
All right.
Like an era or a theme.
Right. Okay.
yeah.
So I think what we have to do is keep songs within people's wheelhouses. So, for example, I could not attempt a rap song.
See, and I wanted to pick you.
Yeah, I know you. I figured you would. So now that somebody else is going to do it, what would you pick?
Well, I mean, honestly, that was just an idea. I really don't know what I would have picked you yet. I had a few things floating around.
Give me one.
I was kind of thinking. Dance with Somebody would have been a good one.
Okay, so you wanna like feminize me.
No, it's Whitney Houston. I just wanted to see you sweat a little bit, dude. That's all.
Well, it's too. Well, the audience still might. So anyway, it's so my wheelhouse now. Country
would be a good one, but like
grew up on
90s,
country.
90s.
Hold on there. Country music, I have a very limited tolerance for, and therefore knowledge of. But I could say maybe prior to, like, from the Garth Brooks era back, I could stomach, and I could probably do something from there. But my wheelhouse is classic rock, of course, or grunge, or something like that from the 90s.
Nobody pick him a grunge song. Those are far too easy. Do not be unless it's Pearl Jam or something like that.
Yeah, or Soundgarden.
Yeah, Soundgarden. But don't be picking Nirvana though.
No, I hate Nirvana. But so that's what I would say there. So if we try to keep it in people's wheelhouse, because if you go too crazy, first of all, you have to kind of really have internalized the song already, right? It's got to be a song that you already know.
Yeah.
So you can't come to the song cold. And even if we say, all right, we're going to do karaoke on, October 4th. I don't even know if that's a Thursday.
I just had an idea. Wait a minute.
That's still not enough time, though. Hold on, Cole. That's still not enough time for us to really learn the song and practice the song and everything. So it's got to be something that we're familiar with. Go ahead, Cole.
I mean, you can read it off of paper. Like
no. But that's not. You still have to get the feel. So look, if you're going to do this,
you got to put on a show.
You got to put on a show. You got to perform. You're going to be behind the silver mic, and you've got to put on.
Oh, are we switching seats?
Oh, everybody's going to come. Well, this is the good mic, man, and we want everybody on the good mic. So yeah.
All right. So listen, I just thought of this, and I think this might be a lot of fun. So we could pick 3 genres. The 3 of us can pick 3 genres.
Okay, keep going.
And then the audience will vote. Like maybe we do each genre has to be filled from whatever era's top 100 songs, right? But it has to be from that genre, right? So they can.
If you say genre one more time, I'm gonna break that window with your head.
But they have to vote on which one they want to be the song for that part of that area of music.
Right, right.
And then once they've selected the three, right?
Right.
Then the three of us have to do some kind of competition on air to be able to we kind of do like a draft, but we have to compete against each other to win our spot in the draft.
Say that part again.
So the audience picks the three songs,
right?
I'm going to say it one more time, from a genre that we've assigned.
Yes.
And then once they are picked, the three of us will compete to be able to get our spot, like our slot in a draft, to pick which song we want. Right? So the winner of the competition would be the first pick. The last place would be the third pick.
So now each one of us has to give 3 genres?
No.
So we pick 3 genres that the audience will then pick one from for each of us.
Right, and it has to be off the top, like that. Whatever, we'll pick an era. It'll have to be off that era's top 100 for that genre.
I think era is probably the better way to go than genre, right?
Well, no, I mean I was saying use them both, right? So like have an overall era.
1970s R&B.
Right, and it has to be in the top 100 R&B songs from the 70s.
So in love with you.
Right,
We'll
and then if you do rock, the same thing, and if you do
other
country,
things.
Country.
Easy listening, or what did they call it? AM radio or whatever. No, AM was the cool. No, I don't remember. FM was the.
AM's the lame one.
AM's the lame one. Well, AM's the lame one now, but FM was like the cool hip thing at first, and then FM became the thing, and then AM became lame.
Right.
Anyway,
when I was a kid, dude, AM, you couldn't even hear it hardly.
Oh, it was
Radio.
terrible.
It was terrible.
The static. Mm-hmm. I know. And they had the low fidelity. And yeah, it was terrible. Okay, so I like that. Then so 3 genres / eras or end eras.
No, just one era for all 3 genres.
Okay, got it. So we pick 1960s, then we got to pick, whatever. Okay.
Yeah, every genre is going to be that era.
3 genres from one era. Okay. Audience votes. Well, our audience picks.
You could do a voting system.
When do we pick this? So
once they you have to have a deadline for the audience to pick it, right? So whatever the deadline is, once that comes.
But we've got to suggest songs for them to pick. We just can't do random songs.
Right. So we were gonna put up a list of the top 100.
Okay. So then we just and then they pick from the 100.
Right. And we should shorten that list.
Let's shorten it to the top 10 of the top 100.
I was just thinking in general terms here, but yeah, top 10 for each of the 3.
Okay, top 10 from top 100. Keep going.
And then whenever the deadline is reached, they'll have selected or voted on the 3 songs they want. Then the 3 of us will we have to think of a competition of some kind, but we can do it on air to win our spot in the draft to pick what song we want out of those 3.
Oh Lord.
So it might be funny because even in the competition, 2 people can gang up on one person.
I'm loving these suggestions though from the audience. Listen, okay, so let me go up here a little bit.
More than words.
More than words. Matt and another male. More than words. Extreme. We used to do. I can't sing it anymore, but we used to do that.
Love.
Who knew that genre was a trigger word for Matt? Yeah, it's not a trigger word except after the 4th time it's said in a 1.5 minute period of time.
Genre.
Eric Koval says the karaoke may have a theme, and the songs selected have to fall into the theme. Okay, that's a good suggestion. Ricky Burge says "Flock of Seagulls" for Matt. The run so far away with an arrow wig. The flock of seagulls wig. Do you know what that is?
Big hair. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's that weird
it's
wave.
It looks like a. It does. It kind of looks like a wave.
Out of your wheelhouse. So Eric says out of your wheelhouse is more entertaining for us, and I agree. But here's the thing, though.
We gotta know it.
You could name a song for me. I'll find the words. I could listen to it a couple of times, but I don't really know the song well enough, and I'll be too focused on not goofing up I'll be too. I won't be able to have fun with it, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to be nervous anyway because now you're singing in front of 1 million people, right? Because we're such a huge audience. And so you're going to sing in front of 1 million people. They've never heard you sing before. You're already nervous, and so you should at least be comfortable with the song. While I agree with you, Eric, We are not that professional here where we, it's like, if you go to Christina Aguilera and do that, she's like, whatever, I've been doing this my whole life. We are not, those type of performers there. In fact, indeed, it's true. So, but that is a good idea for someone else, I think. But no, I like these ideas. Miss Lisi says Ring of Fire. Maybe Matt picks a song from the Red Peters collection. Debbie would be good with classic country too. Your sister there says that. Debbie's main wheelhouse would be Disney or Broadway musicals.
Oh my God, that's a good genre.
Or
though.
anything
Disney,
Irish. Anything Irish. Well, the red
Disney.
hair, that makes sense. Yeah.
Disney songs would be a good genre.
It would be.
Really funny too.
What is your favorite musical? Not Disney musical, but musical. Like real musical.
If you're going to make me pick, I'm going to choose The King and I.
The King and I. What's one of the songs from The King and I? You don't have to sing it. Just tell me the song.
No, you have to sing it.
Oh, Getting to Know You
dear
is from...
Lord, Getting to Know You.
That's from The King and I? Oh, I thought that was The Sound of Music. No, I mean...
You're thinking like Do Re Mi from The
Do,
Sound of Music.
a deer, a female deer, Ray, a drop of golden song, me, a name I call
I joined, but I'm
myself,
too entertained.
far, a long, long way to run.
So
a needle throw, so he...
Pulling thread, you
Pulling
newbie.
thread.
He messed
You
it up.
caught me off guard.
I'm not the one of the Von Trapp kids, dude. I'm trying to get my back up
female
rolling.
deer, Ray. I only know that song because I saw Dean Martin do it on the Dean Martin show with somebody. I think it was Andy Williams or something. Like
I had a crush on one of the girls.
Andy Williams.
No.
I thought you were going to say that too.
Yeah. Okay.
No, in The Sound of Music. Besides Julie Andrews.
I've never seen The Sound of Music, but that's the funny thing about these musicals is I know a lot of the songs from Sinatra and Dean Martin and all those guys do. What's the
Redoing
song?
them, yeah.
What's the one? What's this from? I have often walked down the street before, but the pavement always stayed.
That's from My Fair Lady.
Look at that. She knows them all.
Ooh, that was a good catch right
Yeah.
there. I didn't catch that.
Let me
That's good.
think here. Let me think of another one. The Biltmore Garage wants a grand, but we ain't got a grand on hand. And they now got a lock on the door of the gym at Public School 84. There's a stockroom behind McCloskey's bar, and Mr. McCloskey ain't a good scout, and things being what they are, the
Why
back
is
of the
all this
police
in your
station's out.
head?
You'll see. So the Biltmore Garage is the spot, but the $1,000 we ain't got. And then the band comes in.
I'm blanking. I'm totally blanking.
For it's good old reliable Nathan, Detroit.
Guys and Dolls.
That's right.
Well, look at you.
Wow.
When you see a guy.
So I know what genre. I know what
He
genre
knew
Matt's
Broadway.
going for, dude.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I know Broadway because I listened to Sinatra and those guys, and I didn't realize how many songs came from musicals.
Very much
for
so at that
those
time,
guys.
yeah.
For that, for like musicals were like the thing.
Yep.
But the funny thing is when I go and find the original Broadway version of it, I want to vomit. It's just so
because it's not what you're used to.
Oh,
yeah.
No, it's just. Ugh. It's
Yeah,
so
there are certain ones I can't
jazz
because
hands.
whatever I first heard it from, if it's like a modern revival or something, if that's where I first heard it, I can't stand the original.
Right.
Because
Well,
that's not how I first learned it.
All right, how about this one?
Oh boy.
Dream last night I was on the boat to heaven. By some chance, I found a bottle in my fist, and there I stood. I'm nicely passing out the whiskey, but the passengers
Cam
were
singing
bound
it.
to resist. It's Don Henley. And the people all said, sit down, you're rocking the boat. Said to myself, sit down.
No.
No, Joseph and the
Definitely not. I've been in that show. It's definitely not that.
Definitely.
Taylor.
I think that's Guys and Dolls too.
It might be.
I don't know, but all right. So okay, so I'm sorry, we're getting ADD here. So, so the audience is going to pick.
Yeah,
right?
I think we.
Okay, but
we
so we got to narrow it down to the top 10,
What
and
are
then
the 3 genres we want to do?
well, I mean,
go.
you know, well, okay, well, what's
pick
the era first?
Maybe let's pick the genres first. Then we can.
Well, the
pick an
genres are
era
going to be the same
accordingly.
from era to era, no?
No, because like for me, country would be big in the '90s, right? But you
And
do
then-
like much earlier than that. My knowledge of those songs is going to dwindle.
All right.
So
But
whereas
then
I'm
there's-
really good with classic country.
But now
Yeah,
if we
see,
did like
that would be more my speed.
if we did 50s and 50s or 60s rock, I'd crush. I'd
so-
know a
And
lot of
I
those.
wouldn't know what you're talking about.
So you couldn't do any 50s or 60s. So now I think we
I
can
could
combine
for-
Eric Koval stuff here for a second. So let's just say, for example, we did the 60s, okay? We could do rock, R&B, musicals, because it would be funny to see me or Colby try to sing a musical song, right?
from the 60s.
From the 60s,
So what,
like
what kind of musicals are we talking here?
Well,
When did Mary Poppins come out?
Mary?
60s.
That's I think an early
That's the
60s,
60s,
50s
yeah.
or 60s.
All right.
I mean, it doesn't have to have been originated in the 60s. It has to have been around in the 60s. So,
Yeah.
like Oklahoma, for example, is an old play
yeah.
or musical or whatever it is. But, like, I'm sure someone recorded a song from it in the 1960s, like
Oh, probably.
Sinatra or one of those guys. So, I don't think, so as long as it was
Just out. in the
out
60s.
and it could have come out in the 50s, but it was still around in the 60s, that's okay. No. It has to have been released in the 60s.
Yeah,
It doesn't have to be written in the 60s. It just has to be released in the 60s. So maybe we could do it that way. Now we just got to pick. So would that be okay? R&B, rock, or musical?
Why
Broadway.
don't we do? I mean, let's think about there's a few other ones that might be interesting to look at. So one would be just your pop charts too.
Well, I think that kind of falls into rock, like top 40 stuff. Because R&B was on
guess
top
back in the
40.
60s.
Yeah. I think R&B had their own charts. I think country might have had their own charts.
Yeah,
but then there's
definitely
top
by
40 radio.
Do we want to do?
I'm Casey Kasem. That's not the case.
Where would you put the guy that sings Beyond the Sea?
Bobby Darin?
Yeah.
Well, he would have been top 40.
So is that would that be in the rock?
But that's 50s though. Beyond the
he
Sea.
has stuff. I mean, I know, but he has stuff coming out in the 60s.
Yeah, he did.
What about when did what's the Welsh guy's name that's singing?
Tom Jones.
Yeah, when was he
60s.
released? Say okay. Ooh, that would be fun.
Why, Delilah? That would be a fun one to do.
I saw a duet with him and Stevie Wonder on YouTube the other day.
Yeah.
And it was unbelievable.
That guy could sing.
Dude, he could, man.
Ricky Burge says Bohemian Rhapsody for all as a
Yikes.
group.
I feel like that should be the
Nice.
encore.
Yeah, I don't know.
That one, you're just gonna sound silly trying to sing that.
Miss Lisi, that's a David Allan Coe song that you're talking about there. Oh my God, that's funny. I'm gonna have to bleep it with the Cameron whistle bleep, but it's stains on my pillow. It's a dog. Flock of Seagulls for Man is Wheel has is more entertaining. Yeah, okay, there you go. Well, all right. So I think we have enough here. What we're going to do is we're going to take these ideas off the show. We're going to formulate them into a cohesive something or other, and then we will let you know next week how it's all going to go and what we're going to do. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. Very exciting stuff coming up. We'll be right back.
You glad you used Dial? We are too. We'll be right back.
What happened? Why?
Want the freshest cup of coffee in
Whatever do you
Gettysburg?
mean?
Then visit Bantam Roasters, formerly 82 Cafe at 82 Steinway Avenue. They roast all of their coffee in-house, and they have a full coffee bar to keep you caffeinated during your trip. Visit them at www.raggededgerc.com for their menu and shipping options for all of their freshly roasted coffee. Use promo code Hancock for 10% off your order in the cafe.
Enjoy historical stories on the History Fix platform. Explore movies, short films, and documentaries. Addressing Gettysburg podcast fans receive an extra $5 off the first year's annual subscription. Sign up at historyfix.com and use promo code Gettysburg. Every subscription includes a 7-day risk-free trial. Escape into history with History Fix.
This episode of Addressing Gettysburg is brought to you in part by me, audiobook narrator Mike Scott. narrator of Savis Beattie's Bloody Autumn, the Shenandoah Valley Campaign of 1864, and Unlike Anything That Ever Floated, The Monitor and Virginia and the Battle of Hampton Roads. If you are an author or publisher interested in having your titles produced as audiobooks, or even just in learning more about the process, give me a shout. You can find my contact info on my website, MikeScottVoice.com. That's MikeScottVoice.com.
The 1863 civilians of Gettysburg were reluctant witnesses to the Great Battle. Join Ken Rich, the man in the red shirt, for his historic town walking tours. You could book these tours by emailing ken@gettysburgtownhistory.com. That's ken@gettysburgtownhistory.com. And when you're in town, look for the guy in the red shirt.
And Civil War Trails. It's the world's largest open-air museum, and they offer over 1,300 sites across 6 states. Drive the Gettysburg campaign turn by turn, paddle to Frederick Douglass's birthplace, or hike to remote earthworks and artillery positions. Visit civilwartrails.org to request a brochure and explore their interactive map. Follow Civil War Trails and create some history of your own.
You're listening to the Addressing Gettysburg podcast with Matt Callery.
Want to promote your Gettysburg business? Send an email to sales@addressinggettysburg.com.
See the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a Billy West song. Billy Webster, not Billy West.
Right.
His truth is marching on now. Glory. Okay, so we are back. Amy Welsh is with us. Amy, you've been around for about a year now. Oh, sorry, I didn't turn it on yet. You've been around for...
That's when you know
helps
who
if
your
you turn the
friends
guest
are.
mic on.
I know, I was more worried about hearing myself. So you've been around for a year now. Ladies and gentlemen, 717-420-1978. Still want to hear your thoughts. By the time we get to the news, we want some calls in the queue because I want to hear what you guys think about what we should do for the karaoke contest. All right, so you've been around for about a year now. You moved here from California.
Yep.
And you've been doing some things that I think are pretty interesting, and I like.
Thank you.
You're running around town.
Yep.
And you're doing videos for the businesses and things, and you're doing it through community media.
Yeah.
Which we've used community media for our show that we did in March at the Adams County Historical Society, and also the the Steve Sims Little Round Top thing. Yes, and so
that was great. You have a lot of views on that.
Yes. Well, last time I looked, it was like 20,000. I don't remember. I haven't looked at it in like 2 months.
That was a nice collaboration. Yeah.
It was, and people really liked it. We're going to do it again. I don't know what the date is, but I saw that it was just put on my calendar the other day.
I think you're going to do like updates, right?
Yeah. So we're going to do one before winter so that people could see what it looks like there. And then hopefully Steve Sims will let us do it again in the spring to see what the progress is at that point.
What is the projected?
There is no projected.
Okay, got it.
We asked that question before we went out to do the video. We went to test to see if we could get a signal to do it as a live stream. And I don't know if it was the foreman, but it was like one of the guys, like it was after hours, but they have a guy up there making sure people aren't sneaking up. And he came over, he's like, yo, and then he saw Sims and he goes, oh, okay. And so we were just talking and he was telling us everything about it. And I said, what's your projected end date? And they kind of laughed. And they're like, no, we're not doing that because, the minute we do that, then people are going to hold us to it. And then the weather's, we're going to have a month of rain and not be able to do anything, or a month of snow and not be able to do anything. So, and that's the thing. When you're doing something outside, it's very weather dependent.
Outside. Yeah, how that works.
What do you, exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, you've been doing these videos with community media, and you do a lot. You're there like almost every day, it seems. I'm looking on Instagram. I see a new video with you traipsing around town. Look at this new place, and look at that, and look at where I just went shopping, and all these things. And you were doing backstage stuff at Dancing with the Local Stars last year, or early this year, I should say.
Yeah.
What is your game here? What are you trying to get accomplished?
So community media, I discovered who they were when I moved here last year. Around September of last year, I had met some people from community media. And it sparked an idea where I wanted to work with them. The idea was, as a new visitor to Gettysburg, Matt was my first introduction to the battlefield. But beyond that, the interior of Gettysburg and all about Adams County has a lot of really great little places that you can go to.
Yeah.
I'd call them little hidden gems
Hidden
or
gems.
whatnot. So I had approached community media with an idea of just kind of being a correspondent out on the field and getting to know these places as an outsider, but having such a passion and love for what they're doing. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and it's a great idea because, I mean, you know, a lot of people do that or have done that and will continue to do that long after we're all dust and bones. But it's I think it's something that we need more of. And
We do. So here's what happened. So I approached them with an idea. I'd written a pilot for a TV show, and they were kind enough to air it on their station. And the name of the show is called Working Your Way Through Adams County. And
I got the theme song for you.
I'm waiting. Go.
Working your way through Adams County. It's very short.
Okay. Try it again, but like a more feminine.
How about working your way? Wait.
I think you need to go more Full House.
How about?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's go 90s. Try 90s sitcom now.
Whatever happened to working your way through Adams County? The milkman, the paper boy, and Studebaker cars.
We're going to get back to you on that one.
Don't forget about the man in the red shirt, dude.
Oh, yeah. And Ken Rich is walking down the sidewalk with a group. I love this town so much. It's Gettysburg and Adams County. So it's inspired by Full House,
Okay,
but
so
we're getting away from it. You see?
okay.
Colby, bring your guitar over tomorrow. We're gonna work this out.
I feel this is good. Yeah, it's really good.
It's Gettysburg. We can combine Family Matters and Full House,
Okay.
and
There you go.
yeah, maybe rip off 2 theme songs.
Why not?
Mhm.
Why reinvent that wheel?
My thing was just like a quick little piano riff, like doodle 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 doo. It's walking through. What is it called?
Certainly not that. Working our way through Adams County.
Boodle-doodle-doodle-doo, working our way through Adams County. And then it cuts to you, and you're like, hi, I'm Amy, and today I'm working at this sewage treatment plant. And then,
Exactly.
yeah.
You're so on point with that. So that little pilot got launched last year, and community media put that up.
Okay.
And the 3 people who watched it were really intrigued. And they were like, we love this so much. Well, just like this show and everything else, community media is a nonprofit. It is your local cable access channel, and we look for people to help support.
This isn't a nonprofit.
No,
there
but
is no profit, but
Right,
we're certainly not set up as a nonprofit.
You don't, no, meaning you do need community support.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so like that, community media is looking for that. I've learned so much about that. So back to what do I do with
Just
that?
do me a favor. Speak into the X on the microphone there, please.
Well,
hello. Pull it towards you.
I
Pull
did.
It.
This
no,
is.
pull it. There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
You want
So
to do the theme song again and lead me into it?
Working my way through Adams County.
It's Amy with Community Media. So what I started to do was create that show. There's another show coming up, Working Your Way Through Adams County. It is a segment where my cousin and I get hired by different businesses all around Adams County, and we go in and we work for a day. And at the end of each episode, we'll see what happens if we get the job or
you did
not.
your first one with our buddy Nancy over at the
Yep,
Shriver House,
Shriver
right?
House. She let us work
down there
last
that
year.
way.
Mhm.
And so you went in there, you worked there, but you didn't get the job though, right?
We did not. We did not get the job.
You didn't pass the audition.
We didn't, but she was so gracious that she passed on a few other people that need help. So we're going to be at our next job here soon, and we'll see how that one works out.
So what you're doing more of those?
Mhm.
Did you do any more? I thought you did another one.
We're filming on August 29th for the next one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a while between.
Yeah,
when
and here's
these-
why. It's a production. It's a lot to put together and get the funding and everything going. But meanwhile, in between that, to still stay super connected with Adams County. So at Community Media, we have a segment called Open House. And this is where we go into the community and we meet people and we find out who they are and what they do around Adams County.
Right. I think I'm slated to be on that in October.
Excellent. So we have a couple different ways that show. We have people come into our studio, which is an amazing studio in New Oxford. Excellent production value, everything you could ever need in there. It's really great. Top-notch technology.
Hot tub?
Hot.
Does it have a hot tub?
It doesn't.
Then it doesn't have everything I could need.
Well, maybe.
Okay. I have a bad back. I need a hot tub. But go ahead.
So this is one way that we get to really invite the community in to find out who else is in the community with them. We all get so busy each day doing our routine of da-da-da-da. We don't always know who our neighbors are. So
Right.
this is a really great opportunity that community media has for businesses to come in and showcase who they are and what they do. And there are a few businesses that I have gone to outside the studio to meet them where they're at inside their business to get a really great scope of who they are and what they do. We've done this with Saberhood.
Mm-hmm.
We've done this with the Farmers Market in Gettysburg on Saturdays. Civil War Tales, we've been in there.
Yes.
We've done that. We just did Hollabaugh Brothers in Biglerville.
Love that place.
We have a couple more coming up.
Have you done like the Farnsworth House? You should do the Farnsworth House because they've got a lot of stuff going on over there, and it's the beer garden, right? And so it's a really cool atmosphere. But they also have the memorabilia from the movie, which I think people would get a lot of views, and then there's an inn, there's a book store.
That would be good for October.
Yeah. Oh yes, because they also have a ghost tour attached to them. So
yeah, and also we can highlight individuals in the community who don't necessarily have like a business, a storefront, a brick and mortar.
Right.
We've had Jill Sellers come in with Gettysburg First, who lays the bricks out with the names and all
is that
of
how you do that? Okay.
Those are great. You can have your name or a little message embedded into a brick,
Yep.
and then that gets placed in the town, the little square of Gettysburg, and it's a great little memorial. There's a couple.
I'm thinking to get one to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would be an amazing idea. It's
Why
really
wait
cool.
until I'm dead? I'll get my
And here's
memorial
what's
brick now,
important.
and then I'll see people spit on it while I'm alive.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why not? And what's really cool about that and so many other individuals that we've been able to highlight, nonprofits, is that the community can give back in unique and fun ways. Get a
Sure.
brick with your name on it, and that money goes right back into the community and helping with everything that they do. Main Street, Gettysburg. And then we've had Mayor Freeling on. We have had some nonprofits from Adams Rescue Mission, ARM. We've highlighted who they are and what they do for the community. Manos Unitas, what they do for the community.
United Hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. SCAP. So there's a lot of really cool people who have been through and on our station to just celebrate who they are and what they do, because you might not know. We had just a constable come on. We had an individual who works with veterans and the Veterans Affair here in Gettysburg, and all the different resources available. So Community Media is a TV station that's free and available to anybody on cable access, Channel 12 or 240. You could
Also on YouTube, right? You have a YouTube channel?
So you could visit us at communitymedia.net. You can, here's something else that we do that a lot of people don't know about, but Matt told me that you're going to start doing this and really highlighting
That's
it.
right.
And that is every single Tuesday night at 7 p.m.
Yes.
We play live trivia. So it's really simple. You can go on your computer, your iPhone, smartphone, wherever you are, and you go to communitymedia.net/trivia, hit the play now button, and we do 25 questions. And you put in your name, your team name, and you just play along.
What did I say I was going to do?
You're going to participate.
Oh, yes.
On Tuesdays.
Absolutely.
At 7 p.m.
Of course.
Tuesdays
Let me
at
know.
7.
Let me know when.
You know what? Here's what I like about this.
Yes.
As much as we're all able-bodied and we're getting out and we're doing things, and after the show, we're all going to go to dinner and hang out.
Right.
There's a large majority of our community who does not have access, whether it's physical, a mental reason they're at home, or a financial reason they're at home.
They're home, yeah.
So when you provide services and connection to your community in different unique ways that everybody can feel a part of something. That's such a focus of community media, bringing everybody together in a way that we all feel a part of something. So trivia, it might just sound like, oh, whatever. People are able to join and be a part of something where you just don't know what's going on with certain people. And this could be their one connection a week, or or you could have a family member in a different state, and you could be here, and
you could play together,
and you could play against one another or together.
That's a good point too. Yeah, you could play with grandma, over in Nebraska, let's say, and you live in Vermont. Okay, but your cousin Tommy
in Montana.
No.
Oh, not that Tom.
He's here. So he's told you in Vermont and grandma in Nebraska about it. And then grandma was telling cousin Sally down in Florida about it. And she goes, well, I want to do that too. And next thing you know, the family from 4 corners of the country.
This is getting really ambitious.
I mean,
Yeah, you're really getting it out there. But speaking about ambition, the idea is to create fun
things.
Yeah, together, like a little
community. That's why they call it community media.
Yeah.
So all right. So now we've got that out of the way, the business stuff. So now let's ask you. Now you've been here in Gettysburg for a year.
Yeah.
Okay, a little bit over a year.
Yep.
You came from California. All right on the beach in San Diego.
Yeah, you saw
which is
little
German
today.
for Wales. So then now that is a huge difference. I know people I grew up with in New Jersey went to visit someone in San Diego, came back and said, I'm packing my things and I'm moving to San Diego.
Yeah.
They've all moved back ever since, but for a while they enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Till the state went to hell. Now, what do you think? Do you miss San Diego? Do you like Gettysburg? What is it like adjusting from there? Because I know we have a lot of people. I have a lot of listeners who dream. Debbie was one of. She did it. She moved out here, right? She said, "I want to live in Gettysburg," and she did, right? I got other people that want to live in Gettysburg, but they live in places like California, and they live all over the place. But California, especially, the weather. People love the weather. They love the beach. The weather, the beach. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
You swat. How hard is it to adjust here? SWAT.
So I will say it's based on where you're at in your life and what's going on and where your priorities lie. So it's important to take note of where you are.
That's a good point.
I was in San Diego for 32 years, and I loved every minute of it. I had the best living situation you could possibly imagine.
Right.
And
great food.
Great food.
What's the best
Such
food in
great
San
food.
Diego?
Oh,
tacos, man.
The Mexican food, the varieties, and just the authenticness and the fresh. It's amazing. Well, here's what made my decision. I'd lived there for so long and done so many life events there that what I noticed was, for myself personally, I was missing my entire family events, holidays, birthdays, get-togethers. And it's not always easy to travel back and forth and be there for things like that. So after 32 years, I decided, I have family between Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Maryland. I'd been to Gettysburg. I have family here.
When you were in your teens, you would come here for the summer to stay with your aunt and uncle, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so you have a history. That's how you know Nancy from the Shriver house.
Yes.
She used to be your boss.
She was my boss at Milligan McDuffers when I was 19.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were, from what I hear, you were a real pain in the balls.
I was fired weekly. That is a true story.
Yeah, but they must have really liked you because they kept you.
I just kept showing up. No, it wasn't they kept me.
You did the Larry David.
I just kept
They
showing
didn't have
up.
the heart to send you home every time you showed up.
I don't even know if I got paid. I just kept
You
showing up.
didn't even care.
I didn't even care. But so to be in a great area, really, really close to all my family, so I can start participating in those things. And, my family's aging, as we all are. So, I want to be there for all those special moments. And Gettysburg, because I had that relationship coming here in the summers, I thought was just a really great place. So here are some differences.
Okay. Besides
Some
the
of
obvious.
the things that astounded me, that took me months to get over, and I sometimes look at Matt like, is this for real? People are so nice.
Yeah.
People are absolutely genuinely kind.
Yep.
People own their own brick and mortars. I'm used to being surrounded by a lot of high-end name brand things. And
so you mean you mean small businesses?
Yeah,
right. You're
small
talking.
businesses
You're used to
here.
Neiman Marcus and Saks Fifth Avenue, whereas here we have people's own creations.
And they're
yeah.
working their business. The owners are in the business, working it, and appreciative. You walk through a door and they greet you.
See, I find that funny that you find that quaint, where I guarantee you every single one of them would rather be on a beach while somebody else is running their business.
But you feel special.
Sure, yeah, because the owner of this place is paying attention to you.
Yeah.
The cleanliness of this town trips me out. The safety. I remember we would go hang out and it would be 9:30, 10 at night. And I would call Matt, like, where do I park? And how do and will you meet me in the parking lot? And he's like, just park and meet me, da-da.
It's like, yeah, what? I'm not bothering.
That took me
What am I, your
months
bodyguard?
to wrap around my head how I could park somewhere and just safely walk.
Yeah, I mean, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
Even I'm still getting used
You just
to
have to watch out for cars.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a big thing here.
And trucks with cages of chickens in them.
So the cleanliness, the kindness, the authenticness, heritage. People are very into their heritage. Or
This place means something to
and
people.
you can feel it.
Yes.
There's a vibration.
Absolutely.
Like there's a lot of places you go into Hollywood, you feel you're in Hollywood. It's just a different energy.
Right.
And I'm not saying it's good, bad, whatever. It's just it's that.
It just is.
I lived in a place where it was extremely competitive every day, and you just knew you're waking up and you're in competition mode all day, and you don't really relax. So when
I couldn't. You did that for 32 years?
Yeah, when I
No
first
way.
got here, I was on edge and I didn't really trust a lot. Like, oh, sure, nice to see you. Oh, really?
Yeah. Right.
And
What's your hidden agenda?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's no agenda. It's slower paced. Remember that time we were walking and I was just watching and I'm like, there are so many families. Remember?
Yes. You were
There's like
shocked that there were families with fathers.
Yeah, moms, dads,
Yes.
and kids all together, just being together. And I'm not talking 5 and under. I'm talking 18-year-olds. We saw a lot of teenagers, like the goth teenagers
Yes.
and the mom and dad and everything.
And then normal teenagers too that they were smiling and joking with their parents and not like, get me out of here, I hate
Families.
you. Why'd you drag me here? Yeah.
Very family oriented and embracing and just I've loved
It's a great
it.
place. I moved here twice. I mean, I don't know why I moved away in the first place, but I did. But
yeah,
I'm back.
Unless you've done it twice.
Say what now?
You haven't done it right unless you've done it twice.
No, it's true. I think sometimes you have to get away from it to realize, no, this is really my home.
And
I
the
feel at
slower
home here.
pace is so welcoming.
I'm telling you, I was thinking this today. I went home to spend a little time with Major because, I'd planned on coming here to record the commercial with you at 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then I knew that, well, I'm not going to leave. I'm going to just stay there and then go right into the show. And then after the show, we're all going to go to dinner. And so, I spent the morning with Major, okay, and early afternoon with Major. And I go, well, what am I going to do? A lot of the work I had to do was here on a hard drive. And I'm like, well, I'll do it tomorrow, You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play a video game. So I played a video game on my computer, okay, a World War II game.
Good for you.
And I got bored with that really quick because it was nice. So we took her for a walk, or I took her for a walk. And, but whatever. I was like, you know what? I don't even know what time it is. I don't even care what time it is. Because the way I have structured my life, it took me 40-something years to do it. But I finally got to the point where I can make my own schedule. I can put a roof over my head doing so. I can take time to walk my dog and spend time with my dog. Like that's a luxury.
That's another huge point is
because there's no rat race here. There's no 9 to 5.
The rat race. Well,
I mean, there is 9
anywhere,
to 5,
but the difference is you can live here and relax.
Yes.
In San Diego, depending, you work to pay for your lifestyle.
Right.
Here, you can enjoy life.
Here
really can.
There you work to live. Here you live and work.
Yeah.
But you don't. I mean, obviously, you have to work to live. You can't just live here. I mean, there is a growing homeless population, but that's not like we're saying you should do that. You still need a place over your head. Yes, but what I'm saying is it's not the same thing. You don't have a bigger nut, or you don't have as big a nut in Gettysburg as you do in San Diego that you have to make every month. And so you're constantly chasing that. And then my thing is, okay, sun, beach, that's all nice and all that stuff. But after a while, doesn't it ever feel like too much sun, too much beach, too many people?
So
on the beach in the sun?
You don't, I never thought about it. You saw a video of where I lived today.
Yeah.
Walk out my front door and there, the ocean, you're standing at the ocean. And no, you do not ever get bored of that. Here's what I noticed in this last year. I have been so delighted and surprised by thunderstorms and the changing of the weather. I'm excited because it's something different. I lived every day in 75 degrees, pure sun, every day.
Do you like the winters?
Here?
Yeah.
Last year was amazing.
Oh, yeah, you were jumping around like a moron.
Loved it.
Yeah, I remember that.
So she doesn't know what the season thing
I loved it. Like, it was... Well, I spent the entire month of October and half of November back in San Diego. So I came back mid-November, and then we only had one snow. It wasn't really freezing.
No, it was a pretty mild winter.
But I enjoyed it because it was different.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect that. That's something I remember thinking I was going to come here and really have to figure out, okay, how am I going to get through this? And I flawlessly got through it. And the next thing you know, it was spring and everything's coming to life. And I'm just running around so excited. I would send Matt like pictures all the time of blooms and trees. And I'm like, oh.
Spring here is amazing.
Just it is gorgeous.
It is gorgeous. I mean, yeah.
I guess you don't know what you're missing until you try different things. And I was,
let's see. We got Cliff McCurley. He's in the comment section. He's out on the West Coast. He's in California. He says, West Coast, Mexican food is the best food out there, he says. Now, you've been to Montezuma's here. Have you been here? How does that compare to what you get out in California?
No.
What? No?
Yeah, it's just different.
How is it different? I think it's so good.
I don't know. Like, I had barbecue.
Montezuma's is very, Americanized.
Yeah.
It's gringo Mexican,
Gringo Mexican,
It's just different. They make the tortillas right, everything's in front of you. They're making
it's like hibachi style.
It's just...
and you're getting traditional.
Very traditional.
So it is a lot different.
See, now, I actually went to Mexico and got traditional Mexican food.
Were you in a big resort?
Like Puerto Vallarta?
No.
Cancun.
Well, we were based in Cancun, but we took this trimaran across the water to the Isla de Mujeres, which really should be called the Isla de Muertes. Because I felt like I was about to be killed. And it was this little, impoverished island village. Mm-hmm. But it had a little restaurant, so I went in to get tacos, and I was expecting, old El Paso, and I got, just bland meat. It's probably alley cat. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
And then a little kid tried to get me to buy a bunch of grapes.
I bet he was hustling too.
Probably. There was probably cocaine or marijuana in there.
I bet he gave you a good sales pitch.
No, he's like, grapes? He didn't know English. Grapes? $5.
That's like the kids in Iraq used to come up and go. Every time you'd see kids, they'd sprint to your Humvee and they'd go, Mr. Pienso, chocolate.
Yeah. They're starving. Poor little kids.
Yeah, so the Mexican food's amazing.
It is. It sounds that way. Tom Canavan says, weather, food, and housing may be better elsewhere, but in the end, it's just not Gettysburg. And that is absolutely right. Cliff says again.
And there's more of a community feeling here, too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because everybody goes out to California for themselves, right? To be a star, to be a this, to be a that. I know San Diego's not Hollywood, but still, it's the same, attitude. The beautiful people, the people who are very self-absorbed, right? Mm-hmm. I saw the video your friend made of his trip there. Not a lot of ugly people, okay? I would stand out like a sore thumb in California. And I would hate it. It would feel like I'm around vampires, just heartless,
There's
soulless
a lot
people
of beautiful things.
with cold
I don't
blood.
think you would hate it. I think there's a lot of beautiful things. I don't think you choose to live there.
I would not choose to live there.
But I think there's a lot of amazing
Oh, it looks
things.
gorgeous. I mean, everything I've ever seen of California
We could
is
be
beautiful.
snowboarding in the morning,
Right.
hit the desert on the way back from
Right.
lunch, and by sunset surfing.
Yeah. I would do one of those three things, Debbie.
My sister moved to Hawaii. Same situation. She is close enough to a mountain that she could need her winter coat at the top of the mountain, but in a couple of hours be down on the beach.
Speaking of your sister in Hawaii, what's her name?
Erin.
Erin, if you don't mind calling that number, because when we get to the news segment, I'm going to want to ask you some questions about Hawaii, because there's some stuff going on out there.
There is.
That is pretty sad. And so please. Anyway, Amy, thank you very much.
you,
Stick
Matt.
around for the news, okay? And we'll talk more about everything else,
I recall it emptied my
I think I played this to Comeback before, but anyway, we'll be right back.
Want to promote your Gettysburg business? Send an email to sales@addressinggettysburg.com.
Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center, Gettysburg's premier museum, is housed in the historic Lutheran Seminary building constructed in 1832, a witness to the first day of battle. The museum's 3 floors of exhibits connect visitors to the dilemmas that led to the Civil War, provide a powerful and personal view of the battle's first day, and explore one of the battlefield's largest hospitals. No visit to Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center is complete without a guided tour of the building's famous cupola, where on the eve of battle, officers and civilians saw thousands of Confederate soldiers' campfires burning to the west, and Brigadier General John Buford watched for vital federal reinforcements as fighting erupted on the morning of July 1st. Today, you can stand where Buford stood and discover how this view helped chart the course of the Battle of Gettysburg. Your trip to Gettysburg is not complete without a serious visit to Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center, Gettysburg's premier museum. Purchase tickets online at seminaryridgemuseum.org or call 717-339-1300.
To get tickets or a cupola tour, listeners may call or walk in and mention addressing Gettysburg, or by ordering online using the promo code AG1863 for 20% off.
Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center. It began here.
There's a devil to pay.
If you're a lover of history, then go to trhistorical.com. There you'll find apparel, drinkware, decor, and more, featuring a wide range of interests from the ancient world to the Cold War. Looking to make an impression with the perfect gift? Well, TR Historical now offers gift cards and a vintage wrapping service for a truly unique presentation. And our listeners will receive 10% off plus free shipping in the U.S. when you use promo code GBERG1863. So go to trhistorical.com, TR Historical, for the love of history.
Think outside the bus and let family-owned Gettysburg Tours take you on a cycling journey across the picturesque and historic Gettysburg battlefield. There's no better way than by bicycle to gain a feel for the terrain of the battlefield. Slow enough to see it all, yet fast enough to do it all. Follow the route of Union troops entering the fray as you ride to the site of the first shots of this epic 3-day battle. Feel the drama as you put yourself in the position of a Confederate soldier just before he steps off to make Pickett's charge. Take a stand with the heroic Colonel Chamberlain on the slopes of Little Round Top just before you view the fields of honor beneath you from its summit. All of our guides are officially licensed by the National Park Service. So don't get a sore neck trying to see out of your car and saddle up with Gettysburg Tours for a 360-degree view of America's most important piece of real estate. Gettysburg Tours. Think outside the bus. Go to gettysburg.com or call 717-752-7752 to book a battlefield experience you will never forget.
You've heard us promote various ways that you can help us keep the show going, but one way we haven't pushed too much is our sutlery at addressinggettysburg.com/shop. That's a shame because we have designs over there by talented artists like Ty DeWitt of 1863 Designs and Mike Stretch of the Heritage Depot. So now we're promoting it. Buying shirts, hoodies, mugs, and other items from our sutlery not only helps us keep the lights on, but it also helps guys like Ty and Mike, and it helps spread the word about the show every time you wear an item or you sip from your mug. So head over to addressinggettysburg.com/shop and grab some merch. It's the perfect Christmas gift for the Gettys nerd in your family. That's addressinggettysburg.com/shop.
Have you noticed our revamped website at addressinggettysburg.com? Well, that's the fine work of a man named Mike Stretch, and he also redid our logo for us. Both of them I originally designed, and both of them were originally horrible, but now they're nice, and that's all thanks to Mike. Mike has an awesome t-shirt company called Heritage Depot. There you'll find great designs based on Gettysburg and the Civil War with t-shirts and other types of merchandise. So go to heritage-depot.com and spruce up your Gettys Nerd wardrobe. That's heritage-depot.com. Our favorite bookstore in Gettysburg is For the Historian, located at 42 York Street. It's because they have the best selection of Civil War books in Gettysburg, both new and used, and online they have even more to choose from. And if the Civil War isn't your thing, that's not a problem. This is For the Historian, after all. They cover history from the ancient world to the 21st century with a strong selection of World War II and American Revolution books. It's astounding how many thousands of titles from Osprey, Savas Beatty, UNC Press, and more they have in their store. And that's because, well, they have a warehouse too. And that's where they keep all the books that are available online at forthehistorian.com. And folks, if you go to forthehistorian.com now and order books until you're blue in the face, be sure you mention that you heard about them on Addressing Gettysburg in the Note to Seller box, and they will refund your shipping costs. And if you prefer to stop by when you're in town, well, you could do that too. Just mention Addressing Gettysburg at checkout, and they'll take 20% off the retail price of your item. So go to forthehistorian.com, or stop by 42 York Street, or you can call them at 717-685-5207. That's forthehistorian.com or 717-685-5207.
You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg.
Over 1 million total downloads and counting. You're back with AG Today.
La la la, hoo hoo hoo, ha ha ha. I have to do a couple things here. I have to thank John Reynolds, not the general, but he is a major general in my heart. John Reynolds, listener. He heard us bitching about these stools that we have there, Debbie.
Yes.
And he said, and I think I had said something like, it's just another $400 I got to spend or whatever it was on the things. And he goes, what kind of chairs do you need? I'd like to buy one for you. I said, no, I'll get them. Don't worry about it. I need to write stuff off. Anyway, he goes, no, I insist. Let me get one. I said, fine. So I sent him a link to the chair. I was pretty certain it would work because I have one at home and I measured everything and I didn't bring the chair in here because, so I just did some measuring. I'm like, I think this might work. It works perfectly and it's very comfortable. Excellent. And so I went to Staples and I bought a second one. I'll put it together by next week. It'll be there. And then the guests will sit in that stool because that's too tight in that corner over there for a chair. And frankly, the guests are here for like 20 minutes. Maybe someday I'll do that. But anyway, thanks to John Reynolds for that. Also, I want to thank Rich Snyder because he heard us talking a while back about, Cam had some deaths in the family and stuff like that. And I assume, because it came right on the heels of that, so I might be wrong on this, but I think Rich was, felt bad and he saw something that he thought Cameron might like and said, I've got a gift for Cam. And so I want to thank Rich for that. It's very nice of him, very thoughtful. I have not seen Cam very often. He has not been to the studio yet because he works. I think he gets out of work at like 5:30, and then he's got an hour and a half drive home or something like that.
Get here in time.
He doesn't. So he hasn't been around a lot. But I got to tell you something. Cam is losing weight.
Is he
and
really?
Yes.
Him, huh?
I am too. He's been dieting and he's been walking like religiously around the battlefield. Like literally, he's carrying a cross. And he's really taking it seriously. And I think that's great. I wish I had the whatever it takes to do that for myself. But anyway, yeah, I mean, so Cam's doing a great job with all that. But so, Rich, I have the gift here. It's in the studio. Next time Cameron is around and he comes in, or if I can just remember to grab it with me because I know I'm going to see him, I'll do that and he will get it. But it is in the room back there. It's a nice picture, actually. It's a train. Cameron likes trains. And it's a train, but it's not the
Chattanooga
choo-choo that is depicted in it. It's just another train. I forget. It says where it is. I forget where, but anyway. So thank you very much for that, Rich, as well. And then what was the other thing I wanted to say? I just want to make sure here. Let me look. No. Okay, so that's it then. So I think that. Oh, this is what I wanted to do. So I've told you that in September, we're going to release the first episode of That's What She Said.
Yes.
On Patreon.
I'm super excited about it.
I'm super excited too. I hope it helps to grow the audience. Statistically on YouTube, we are 98% followed 98% by males, or followed by 98% male.
Somehow that does not surprise me.
Right.
Mine's the same way.
Yeah. Now, on other platforms, it's more like Instagram, it's 70-30.
Mine's not that. Mine's still like
predominantly male.
I mean, I would say it's more female than YouTube, but I think it's like, I want to say it's like 80-20 at the most. It's probably more like 85-15.
Okay, so but still, you have more females following on. Yeah.
Matt.
Yeah.
Erin just said she tried calling but got a message saying the show is currently offline.
Oh, well, let me look here. Let me look. No, it's still there.
Not to interrupt, but.
No, that's okay. Oh, wait, my connection was interrupted. Thank you very much, Erin. There you go.
Okay, Erin, try again.
All right, hold on. Let me get the thing going here. Well, so here's what we'll do. What's going on? The connection. All right, well, here. Colby, the internet's working fine on that computer, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're still live.
Good. No. All right, fine. Don't worry. It says no internet on mine, but that might just be my Wi-Fi. It's no big deal. Everybody relax. Everybody relax.
No panicking.
Erin, I will let you know when it's time to call in again. But in the meantime, I just wanted to let you all get a little taste of what the start of the That's What She Said is going to sound like. So here we go.
From the Gettysburg Museum of History Studios, you're listening to Addressing Gettysburg.
That's what she said.
Hi, I'm Bethany, and with me is Veronica Brzezinski, Esquire. Hi, Veronica.
Hi, Bethany.
Today we're going to talk about Elizabeth Thorne. Isn't that exciting?
It really is.
Yes, I really like her. I can't contain my excitement, actually.
It's been a thorn in my side.
Yeah, and that's our guest. That's our guest, Roseanne. Roseanne, you're going to tell us about Elizabeth Thorne.
What I'm going to tell you is a little bit about her stitching.
Her stitching. Yeah. She was a great seamstress. She was so monger. And so she would, but what I love about her is that her hair was just good. No. I love that she dug graves while pregnant. I couldn't push a mop while I was pregnant.
And that's why you're single now, honey.
Yes.
From the Gettysburg Museum of History Studios, you're listening to Addressing Gettysburg.
That's what she said.
All right, but seriously, folks.
You doing news or events first?
She's the gal who knows what's going on. So take notes. There's a test at the end. Here's AG Today's lead anchor, Veronica Brzezinski, with news, traffic, weather, sidewalk conditions, and what's happening this weekend.
I must have all possible information.
Now, Debbie, I'm going to get the phone lines back up. The audience isn't going to hear it, but you're going to hear it in the headphones. So don't let it distract you, okay?
Okay.
There's no other way to do this for me. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right. Or take your headphones off. I don't know. Whatever works for you, but here we go. Go ahead. You've got it. You've got the floor, my friend.
Okay. There's not a ton of news this week, but I did find this interesting. Apparently, it is National Stop on Red Week. Who knew? It really is. It's a thing because apparently thousands of people get killed because people run stoplights and stop signs. So that's been all this week. And it is a problem here, I will admit, because the Facebook group that I saw this on, several people were like, yeah, people don't pay attention to that in Gettysburg.
What, stop sign? Yeah, I've noticed that. Like stop signs on the like the side streets.
Yeah.
People like just kind of like do, what do they call it? The California stop where you kind of roll through.
Yeah.
But I find that to be
if
adequate.
you even bother to stop at all.
Right, exactly.
I have absolutely seen that.
Right.
I think that the big thing is for people, especially for people that aren't from here, is the no turns on red.
Yeah.
No right-hand turns on red, like what streets you can and can't do that on. And then, honestly, the freaking roundabout, dude. Because people would just walk right out in the middle of the road because they're so used to people stopping for them.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you're just coming through here for the first time thinking that, like, all right, I got to make eye contact with them. They're going to, you know what I mean? They're going to
Right.
stop and then, that's not the case, dude. You'll just have someone walk right out in front of you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Phone line is up, ladies and gentlemen. Phone line is up.
There you go, people. Start
Why
calling.
not? Supposedly it's up. Go ahead.
Let's see. What else did I have? Apparently, over in the Fairfield area, there was a gentleman who ended up sent to Baltimore with severe burns because he attempted to burn out a yellow jacket nest.
Did
Yeah.
he use some kind of accelerant for this?
The article did not say, but I
Oh.
would guess so.
Yeah.
To get burns from trying to get rid of one of those. And also, burning a bee's nest, wasp nest, any of that does not sound like a fabulous idea.
it really
So-
doesn't.
It's funny we're
I mean,
talking
I-
about this. I
I
got
hope
stung
this guy
twice
gets
by-
better, but-
by yellow jackets a few days ago. I was helping. Then they were nested in a tree, like a
In the
fallen
ground?
tree. No, they were in like the stump, the remaining stump of a fallen tree. They were like down in it, but we couldn't. So much vegetation stuff, we couldn't see them. And we're back there, like chainsawing this humongous tree, and all of a sudden, like I feel the stinging on my shoulder. I look over,
And
I-
they can sting more than one time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah, and they did it through my shirt, and I was like, I kind of like swatted it away. I didn't really notice, and I was like, no, I didn't just get stung by that. And then as soon as I thought that, I looked up and saw the guy I was doing this with, and he like flicked, like he had got stung by something. And at the same moment, I got another sting on the back of my other arm, on my left arm.
So what did you do? Did you run or stand still?
Oh, we ran because then I'm like looking around.
Did you
and
run into a lake?
They're nasty.
There's probably like 70 flying around us.
I'd like
There
to-
are a ton.
Did you guys see Jackass when they hit like the bee's nest and the guy's like, if you don't move, they won't sting you.
Right.
I honestly gave that advice to a friend this week.
And got stung.
Same thing. She was saying, "Oh, these bees came out." And I'm like, "Jackass, stand still." So maybe put that in your Rolodex for next time.
But is that true?
I don't know. That's why I asked if you ran or stood still.
No,
or...
I ran because they were already stinging us.
He already got stung.
Yeah.
And there, dude, I'm not kidding. When I say there's like 70, there was like
Yellow
70 of these
jackets,
things.
yeah, you don't
They were
mess
not-
with those. You get out
Yeah,
of the way.
and they sting more than once.
They're jerks.
I don't know. I've never. How do you tell the difference between a yellow jacket and a bee?
Well, a bee's like thick, like fatter.
Yeah,
Okay.
They're rounder.
And
Yellow jackets are
Little, like thin.
they've got the thinner thorax.
Yeah, they do.
Not to be
they've got the
confused-
thinner thorax.
Not to
Yeah.
be confused with a wasp, though.
No, well those
Wasps
you can't
are
confuse
horrifying.
Some people get that confused.
those. Well,
see
people
that.
are idiots.
People are idiots.
I never really was afraid of bee stings. I mean, I've been stung by bees, and it's not pleasant.
No.
I've been stung by a wasp right on the finger, and it swelled to like the size
Like
of
a cartoon?
of a like a what?
Like a cartoon.
Well, it didn't, not quickly, no. But it was like the size of like a pig in a blanket, you know, like
That is a really, out of all the things, I don't think I would have ever come up with that one.
I don't know what
Quite
else.
visually accurate, though. I
Yeah.
could see that.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
But like it was my middle finger and my other two fingers I couldn't close because the whole thing was like I had a cocktail weenie around my
Oh,
finger.
Put a
Yeah.
little bun on that thing and just.
Oh, and the worst part was he was inside the house. He got inside the house and he was on the inside of the front door. So I bunched up some paper towels.
Yeah.
I went over and I squished him, and he stung me on the finger through the bunched up paper towels. Little bastard. I mean, he died.
Yeah.
Let's not forget.
But you're
he's
talking about
dead.
him still. Infamous.
Well, and listen, I am one of these people who has great respect for his vanquished foe, and they live in my heart. Now, let's just so you know, we've got your sister on the line. So when we get to Hawaii, we'll talk about that. We'll get her, and then we have a fellow named Mike Lynch on, and But go ahead.
All right, I've only got 2 more.
Okay.
So on a happier note, last weekend was the back to school supplies distribution that happens. It's sponsored by United Way. I guess they do this, like 45% of Adams County students are eligible for the free or reduced lunch program.
Okay.
Those same students have difficulty then affording their school supplies.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So they put this on every year. Their goal was to help around 300 students. This year, 530 students received free school supplies.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's pretty amazing.
Well, so wait a second. Hold on a second. How do we read that? Does that mean there are more needy kids than there used to be, or that there's the same amount of needy kids, but they are now able to give them stuff?
Yeah.
Well, what's the answer?
Well, I would guess that it's more heard about it, and we're able to.
I hope so. I hope we don't have an increased population of people in need.
Yeah.
That would suck.
I don't know.
But all right, but either way, that's good that
Yeah.
that number of people got whatever they needed, and that is good. So that is happy news. So let's give them an old-fashioned Dan Butterfield.
Dan, Butterfield.
That's a good thing, by the way, if you're new to addressing Gettysburg. When you get a good thing, or a Dan Butterfield, that's a good thing. Go ahead.
So my last bit of news is if you're paying attention to the park paving project that's going on, the next section that is being done starts the 14th to the 18th, so this upcoming week. Ayers Cross Brook de Trobriand.
What?
Fully closed. So,
Ayers Cross Brook de Trobriand. So that whole little loop there.
Yes. So the only way you'll be able to access the wheat field is if you take Sickles Avenue, you go around Devil's Den and come up Sickles Avenue.
Yeah, so
you
Sickles will
can't
be
take the
open.
little
Gotcha.
the
So
outside of it.
Okay, so you can't come in on Ayers. You can't cross over to Cross.
Nope.
And then up to Brook and around to Detrobriand, which is all the same road, but we changed the name depending on which brigade was where it is.
Yep.
So, okay, so that is good to know.
Yeah, and people, please stop complaining about the paving project.
Okay, is it bugging you too?
It bugs me that people are complaining about it.
Yeah.
Because
that's what I mean.
Yeah, it does. Because I saw another post today that someone made on one of the Gettysburg groups about, oh my gosh, like you'd think they don't want people to come here, like everything's closed. And I'm going,
Jesus Christ.
It is paving. It is literally cannot be done in any other time of the year.
Thank you. Colby, zoom in on my face. I'm going to talk to the audience.
Been zoomed.
I know, I got to move it myself. Okay.
That was a good look, dude.
Folks.
Dude.
Okay. Now let's talk seriously for a second here. You can't pave in the wintertime. You just can't do it. You have to do it when it's warmer than, I think, 55 degrees. I believe 55 degrees. Okay. So, number one, they have to do that. Now, if it's anything like the little round top issue.
Little big round top.
Little big round top. This money was probably approved quite a while ago and now became available, and they have to use it. You understand? Secondly, the Park Service, for all the great things that they do, for all the things we love about them, listen, moving closer.
A little closer.
A little closer.
So scary.
A little closer.
This might be a little too close.
They are not in the hospitality business. And so your vacation needs and your vacation plans do not matter. They want you to have a good time when you come here, for sure.
Absolutely.
That's what they
And
do.
part
That's
of
why
that good time is having safe roads.
part of that good time. By the way, I've been doing these drive around videos every morning, and I drive on the freshly paved roads, and I go, my God, it feels so good on my tush. It feels so good on my tush. You are going to love how smooth your ride is. And listen, this attitude of, Sickles Avenue is closed. I'm not going to Gettysburg anymore. It's one road, It's going to be closed for 2 days tops.
Yep.
Okay? You can survive. You will survive. There's, again, it's the same argument with Little Round Top. There's 6,000 acres. There's 20 some odd miles of road. God, you just want to complain.
Pretty much.
And by the way, the Park Service has no bearing on your life from day to day. You know who does have bearing on your life? Congress, the president, your governor, your state house, like your state reps. You know, those people do. Bitch to them. Don't bitch about the park paving roads that need paving.
Mm-hmm.
Please, please. All right, I'm sorry. There, I'm off my soapbox.
Rant over.
Rant over. I need a sound for that.
To be fair, too, as a volunteer with the park, I actually get weekly, if not more often, emails about this paving project, and there is more coming up. It's sometime in the fall. We just don't have the dates for it, and it's stuff like first day's battlefield type spaces. So. They're doing this on a rotating basis. And honestly, based off the stuff I've seen, they're doing it in exactly the time frame they've said they would.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be closed for 2 days. And lo and behold, that section is only closed for 2 days.
It's amazing. And then, you know what happens on the third day? You have a nice, smooth ride.
Yeah.
And it's enjoyable. Exactly. And I know this. I've been driving around pretty much every morning. I do these videos on here on YouTube. And I'm telling you, I
make up a quick little bit for your first drive on the road. It's Matt with Addressing Gettysburg, and we're driving smooth.
You mean
just come up with
what?
something. Just come up with.
No, I told you. I go. Oh, here's a new paved road. Let's go on it. Oh, feel that on your tush.
I feel like it should have
it's
its own
so
brand.
nice and smooth.
The smoothness of the camera should tell you something.
Yeah, it's not shaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's very nice. And you can still get around the park. Everywhere the listeners or the viewers have wanted me to go, I've been able to go to while they're still paving. Mm-hmm. So please, it's just people just want to complain, okay? They just want to complain.
So there you go. The paving does, by the way, not happen on weekends. So if you're here on a weekend, you should be okay. Just know that if you're here during the week,
they're doing all that complaining about the weekdays.
Yeah, exactly, Colby. Because they don't even look to see that it's the weekends that they're doing it. I mean, the weekdays. Forgive me, the weekdays. So they just want to complain.
Complainers.
All right, so that's all the news, and now you have events.
Yes, this weekend where the action is.
What's there to do and see when you're in town this weekend? Here's Valerie, Veronica, to fill you in.
It's all covered.
Hey, what happened?
All right, all right. So.
All right.
Here we go again.
So,
thanks there,
what is going on in the event?
There is tons of stuff happening in this weekend and future. Well, I only have one that's like further in the future. But.
Okay. Well, what's
okay? So over the weekend, if you are so inclined and you enjoy the steampunk genre, the Key City Steampunk Convention is happening at the Wyndham. It starts 2:00 tomorrow and runs till 5:00 on Sunday. It is $80 at the door.
Okay.
If that's your thing.
And this is at the Wyndham.
Yep.
So wait a sec. This is interesting. The steampunk thing. Now, so I know what it is. Mm-hmm. One might argue that our bookshelf there is steampunkish.
That could absolutely be considered steampunk.
Is it a mixture of metal and wood?
Yes.
Yeah, well, it's
like 1920s industrial. Oh, 1890s.
It's like 1890s. It's the idea of steam powered and, think like the Around the World in 80 Days.
Yes.
Jules
Okay.
Verne type.
Oh, all right. All
Except
right.
people have taken that to the nth degree. So, yeah.
It's kind of cool, though.
Crazy outfits and...
Wow.
They are definitely fun to observe. I can tell you that. And I have friends who do the steampunk thing, and they love it. So
there were some people. Now that I think about it, I mean, it probably isn't for this, but I was having a meeting at Bantam Roasters the other day, and this young couple came in. The guy was wearing a 3-piece suit, but I'm talking like Peaky Blinders. He had the whole Peaky Blinders look, which those are heavy wool suits.
Yeah.
And mustache with the looked great, and then she had like a gown on that matched that era or genre, which is not the same as an era, but you know what I mean.
Yep.
And so I don't know. I thought it looked kind of cool. I can't pull that look off.
Yeah.
You have to be, a skinny 20-something to do it and look good. But I admire it. I think it looks good. It's it's better than blue hair.
Could be, yeah.
Pulled that one out of left field there, buddy.
Yeah.
Blue hair.
Well, I'm not a fan. Go ahead.
All right. So also this weekend, the Gettysburg Community Theater is doing Much Ado About Nothing.
And that is Shakespeare.
That is Shakespeare, one of Shakespeare's comedies. Actually, my favorite of the comedies.
Really?
So I am going to go see it tomorrow night. Yep, 49 York Street. It's Friday and Saturday at 7 o'clock, Sunday at 2, and I believe it's $20 at the door.
What is the big song from that movie? I mean, from that play?
There isn't one.
What is the main character's name?
The main characters are Benedict and Beatrice.
Okay, thank you. Yes. I've heard of that then.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Okay, at the actual Gettysburg National Military Park, this is the last weekend for the summer programs, daily programs. Starting next weekend, or starting Monday, they switch to the fall schedule.
Oh, really?
So, as whereas right now there's 20 different things to choose from, it goes down to 6.
Wow. It's over already. The summer is gone, man.
Yep.
Man,
the last 2 of the summer battle walks are this weekend. Saturday, 10 a.m., East Cemetery Hill, holding the high ground with Troy Harmon. I will be volunteering with that, so come say hi. You meet at the Soldiers National Monument in the cemetery. And again, 10 a.m. on Sunday, General Hood attacks Hood's Confederate Division on July 2nd with John Nicholas. And you meet at West Confederate Avenue, Arkansas Monument.
Those both sound interesting.
Yeah.
What's the John Nicholas one? Or when is that?
10 a.m. Sunday.
Okay, all right.
And then there's
And those are the last 2?
The last 2 battle walks.
For the year?
Yeah, for the summer.
For the summer.
I don't know if they'll do a fall program, because they did last year.
Yeah, I thought so, yeah.
There will also be living history out on the field. At Pitzer's Woods, you have the North Carolina troops. They're on the even numbered hours, so 10, 12, 2 o'clock, Saturday and Sunday.
Is that artillery or infantry?
Nope, that's going to be infantry.
Okay.
Then you have the 2nd U.S. Artillery Battery M will be up at the Pennsylvania Memorial. They're on the odd numbered hours, so 11, 1, and 3.
So you could do infantry and then run over and
to do
that's
artillery.
Smart.
You can also do over at Spangler Spring, there is Squabbler's Mess. They are a non-firing unit, but they still are doing programs ongoing 9 to 5 on Saturday, 9 to 3 on Sunday.
Squabbler's Mess.
Yeah, I'd never heard of them
No,
before.
me neither.
So
That's
I might have to
interesting.
go check them out.
Okay.
That one's at Spangler Spring. And then, of course, there's various live music happening all over Gettysburg because it's the season for that kind of thing. So
Name one.
There's one that's going to be in the garden outside ABC on Saturday night. I forget the guy's name.
Okay. So ABC will have one.
Yeah, I think
Plowman's
has stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's all sort of that. And also, if you wanted to run down to Littlestown, their Alpha Fireman's Carnival has been running every night and will continue
That
to run every
sounds
night
hot.
through Saturday.
Alpha Fireman.
I know. But it's a fun carnival. I saw pictures. It looks cute.
Okay. Well, what is
see.
it? What do you mean? What is the Alpha part? What is that
don't
about?
know.
Oh.
It's the name of their fire station, I think. Alpha 20 fire station?
Might be. I don't know.
Phonetic
I didn't look
A.
that part up. Okay. Friday, tomorrow, if you have never been inside Lee's headquarters, it will be open 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So if you're here tomorrow and you've never been in there, go do it.
Yeah, go do it. It's pretty neat, actually.
It is.
And I've been in there with Joseph Fuqua, who played Jeb Stewart.
Ooh, that
who was famously yelled at by Martin Sheen in the movie Gettysburg, and it was not filmed in that house.
No, that was still a...
That was a
Wasn't that a
gift
museum
shop
still
and
at the
museum.
time? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, Saturday, if you enjoy singing, the Gettysburg Choral Society...
Did you say F you?
If.
Oh, if.
Wow.
I was going to say F you too.
The
Okay.
Gettysburg Choral Society is holding their fall auditions on Saturday.
You should tell Veronica.
For singing.
At the Trinity United Church of Christ on High Street. That's 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Sunday night, there's music in the park at the Rec Park Amphitheater from 6 to 9. Someone named Eric Mintle
Okay.
And then, last but certainly not least, our buddy Jim Hessler has asked that we pass along that on Tuesday, the 15th at 7 p.m., he is giving a Zoom talk on the Sickles Key murder and trial. Lots of then and now photos of the players and the sites. If you've taken a tour with Jim, this is a great supplement on things he didn't cover with that. If you've seen it before, then you need a refresher before you go on his next DC tour. It's through Wittenberg's Chambersburg Civil War seminars. It's all of $6. So if you want
$6,
a whole $6, I know, right? So if you want to participate in that, you would go to civilwarseminars.org/lectures.
All right, so I'm writing this down. Seminars.org/lectures. Speaking of Jim Hessler, he texted me today, and he said that he was shooting for 100 people for his Custer talk that he talked about last week, and he has over 100 now.
Yeah, I was looking at the website today. It says it is sold out.
Yeah, that's good. And I said, well, I hope that has something to do with you coming on the show. And he goes, yeah, I hope so too. He doesn't know. There's no way to find out. But yeah, I mean, put it like this. If you're a listener of the show and you heard Jim on last week and that made you go and get tickets for it, let him know at the event when you go out there. And also, if you want to do the Sickles murder trial one, because he said, you should sign up for this, and I said I would love to, except exactly at that time I have something planned and I'm not going to be able to. Is it archived? And he found out, and he said, yes, it is. So you could still sign up, and you can then watch the archive, which is what I'm going to do. And then you just reminded me to do that by mentioning it. So that's the plan there, and everybody is going to be happy. All right, including Cam. Now, let's see who this Mike Lynch guy is first, and then we're going to talk about Lahaina. Mike Lynch, are you, let's see, why is this acting so slow and sluggish today? It's like taking forever to just pick up the call. What is happening, folks? There's Mike Lynch. Okay. Mike Lynch, how are you? Oh, it's Mike Lentz.
Hey, well, this is 6 questions.
6 questions, yes.
Yes, and let me tell you, this is quite an interesting experience listening to the show through the phone. It really, it's at least I don't, the visual medium is kind of lost when you're listening on the phone.
So it's better.
Anyway,
it's better.
Seeing your handsome mug there, Matt, man, I'm so disappointed I didn't get to watch the show and see you the whole time.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
So I was going to comment about the karaoke, and when you were discussing it and you decided to go Broadway musicals, I thought this could get really weird really quickly because the thing that popped into my head was Matt singing Memories dressed like a cat.
Oh,
I didn't even think of that, dude.
Can
And I
we
bet you
please?
cats came out in the 60s.
Well, you know what? This is a great point, though, because we have
to make the top 10.
a visual element here.
No.
So I think
you have to wow the
everybody should
audience.
wear something indicative of whatever they're singing. So, like Colby, if you're doing country, I'll let you borrow a cowboy hat, unless you have one.
I got a few, but let me get that cavalry hat.
Well, I don't think
Okay.
that the voice is the ultimate winner. It could be the whole display of.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You got to dress the part.
Yeah, we're doing a video show
Oh,
here.
yeah.
So maybe that's what we're supposed to do here is scattered pictures of the smiles I left.
If you get a Broadway.
Can you do this though? With your little hand.
What is that? Oh,
Just
the
a
cat hand.
If you get a Broadway song, you got to really overdo that vibrato, man.
Yeah, I know. That's what.
Heck yeah.
Scattered misty colored memories of the way we were.
Oh boy.
Could it be that we were all
from Wizard of
If
Oz?
I were king of the forest. I can't do that.
Oh my God.
What? That wasn't good.
That's you.
The lion?
Yes.
But that's the 30s. Sorry.
No, it's just you.
Oh. Thank you. I'm the cowardly lion. But he had courage all along. All right, Mike. So go ahead. Is that all you thought, or do you have more ideas?
For me, it's kind of a bold choice, leaving it to the audience to determine your songs.
Yes.
Because there's a segment of our audience that likes to go maximum chaos here.
Yeah.
And I think
we're kind of relying on that.
That would be. Yeah. Okay. Cool. If you're wanting to lean into that, don't play to your strengths and just go maximum chaos. That'll be an interesting 2 hours. We'll see how that goes. But yeah.
Yeah, I think like Eric Colville brought this point up where he's saying, you guys not knowing the songs would be funnier, but I think I from experience, now I've done this on a show before, and we tried that, and it was terrible because nobody could do it because nobody knew the song well enough. And you have to be able to you got to have some level of comfort, right? And I think it's got to be the song. And then exactly. we make you uncomfortable by saying you really got to sell it,
like the production,
and you got to wear a cat costume. Yeah.
Well, that spontaneity might work depending on the band. If you're doing Pearl Jam, no one knows what he's saying anyway.
Exactly.
So you could just kind of rip.
Yeah, you don't need to know the words for that. And actually, it would probably screw you up if you had the words in front of you because you're so used to not knowing them. Yeah, you would actually be trying to like make them understood, and that's not what he's doing.
That's what happens to me when I looked up the words to Yellow Ledbetter, dude. I was like, that's not what he's saying.
Like, I think that's what he does in half the songs. He's just
he's just all over the place.
He's timmying. Timmy.
Well, I'm going to say good night for now because I know that probably some of you are getting hungry here, and we need to hear Erin from Hawaii.
That's right. We need to talk. We've got some serious business. Thank you very much, Mike.
So, have a good night, guys.
You too. Take care of yourself. Talk to you later. Talking to yourself. From again. All right, Erin, you're on the phone. It's great to talk to you. I've heard so much about you.
I've heard a lot about you all as well.
Hi, sibling.
What a greeting.
Yeah, that's
well, we have been mistaken for other than siblings before, so I feel if I say it out, start with that, people get what's going on there.
Other than siblings, what do people think you are?
Really open-ended.
Well, what do you think people would think two women are if they're not siblings?
Oh, mother and daughter.
Definitely.
Well, that's a possibility, yes. But yeah.
Oh, you mean?
Well, yeah, we have gotten that one once or twice.
Yep.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, so, Erin, what part of Hawaii are you in?
So I am on the Big Island, almost at the most southern point in the U.S.
Yeah. Okay. So the Big Island is. I thought that was the more north.
Hawaii.
Yeah. No, I understand that. Thank you. Hold on. I got to look at a map here. Hawaii. All right, go ahead. So so tell us now. So where is Lahaina?
Maui.
It is on Maui, which is our closest neighboring island, and they are having the most trouble with wildfires at the moment. We have a few here on Hawaii Island, the Big Island itself, but they're nothing compared to what has been going on in Lahaina. I mean, if you look at the pictures that they have been able to release to the public. It looks like a bomb went off.
Yeah, it does.
The town of Lahaina is just gone in like a day.
It's really sad to see. I mean, I saw some video taken from the water, and I mean, yeah, it looks like a war zone.
It does. It's absolutely heartbreaking. And the thing is, these islands are so interconnected with each other. People in our community here have friends and family in Lahaina who have been displaced. They don't know where they're going to go. It's a massive problem now. And I know that the National Guard has been mobilized, and there are already fundraising efforts underway to help the people who have been affected by the wildfires in Lahaina.
Do you know off the top of your head what those websites might be that if people wanted to go and donate?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I bet your awesome Googler there could probably figure that out in about 2 seconds.
Well, let's see. Googler, can you find that out for us, please?
I can try.
So Lahaina, yeah, okay. So I for some reason I had in my head Hawaii reversed. The islands of Hawaii reversed. I thought that the Big Island was the northernmost or northeasternmost. I had it like kind of flipped. So yeah, you're right. It is. So you're on the south end of the Big Island.
Yes.
Is that Ocean View
So far,
or is that Nalehu?
Ocean View.
Okay.
So we're about 15, 20 minutes from Naalehu, but I'm actually in Ocean View.
Gotcha. And so Lahaina, Maui, etc. I remember I think we went to Lahaina because I went to Maui when I was a kid. And I think we stayed in Lahaina because we could see Molokai from the beach when we were swimming. And I remember learning that Molokai was a leper colony, correct?
Yes, it was. And I wouldn't be one bit surprised if you visited Maui or Oahu. Those are the two most popular.
Yes, we went to both of them, actually. We went to Oahu
that does
first.
not surprise me. Most people do.
Yeah. Yeah, why is that? How come people don't visit the Big Island or Kauai or Kamanawanalea?
Taylor and I went to Kauai.
I think that has a lot to do with what is available. Like for Maui, it's a huge surfing destination. Same thing with Oahu, but especially Maui.
Why is that? Is that
Huge,
because of the
huge
way
on
the
surfing.
islands are situated? Like, why is that more of a surfing destination?
Yes.
Well, they got Jaws there.
It has to do with the way
That's the name of the
the
wave.
islands are situated and the coral reefs and things like that. All of that affects the waves.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there are places in Maui that are extremely popular for surfing competitions, like world-renowned surfing competitions.
What is so? You said these are wildfires.
Yeah, how are they starting?
Yeah,
They know.
and you're saying that you have one on your island?
We actually have 3 currently. None of them are close to where I am, thankfully. So they are starting because of the hurricane that is passing really hundreds of miles south of the islands, but it's still affecting us very strongly here. So over the last couple of days, we've had essentially hurricane-force winds and low humidity because the hurricane is pulling all of our humidity away.
Aha.
So it's creating a massive, like a weird weather system for us where we're not really experiencing a lot of humidity, but we're getting hurricane-force winds. So any tiny little spark is going to start a wildfire. So they're telling us, no open flames outdoors, no sparks, don't do anything like that because our fire risk is extremely elevated. There are parts of Hawaii Volcanoes National Park that are currently closed because the fire hazard is so high right now. They've closed it down to motor vehicles for that reason.
So it's weird because, we've been dealing with smoke coming down from Canada from their wildfires. And last I heard, there were like 20,000 of them. And they say that they're started by lightning strikes. And the problem with them is that they're in the wilderness and there's no roads to get to them. So, like, the best they could do, I guess, is fly over and dump stuff on it. But, I mean, what's that really going to do? So, like, is that what they're saying with these wildfires, that they're started by the lightning from these storms? Or what's the start of them?
So, I haven't heard yet if they have determined what has started any of these. It might be too soon for them to tell. They may not have a way to tell what exactly has started them. We are not experiencing the hurricane here exactly. It's passing hundreds of miles south of the island. So we're not getting any of the lightning and thunderstorms and things like that from the hurricane. But we have had over the last few days hurricane-force winds and things like that. But we haven't really gotten any rain, which is also contributing to the wildfire problem.
It's too dry.
We usually get rain it's too dry. We've usually been getting rain pretty much every single day, kind of like it does in Florida, where it rains around, between 1 and 3 in the afternoon.
True story.
For like an hour or so, and then it's done. It does that here. You know, even though I'm on the drier side of the big island, it still rains almost every single day. It hasn't rained in the last few days. And the humidity is very low, which is not at all normal for here. So that with the high winds, the fires are just spreading like crazy.
Interesting. So what brought you out to Hawaii?
So that's a funny story. And Debbie's laughing about this because we had a lot of conversations about, I don't want to move to Hawaii. I want him to come here to Michigan. I don't want to live in Hawaii. But anyway, so what brought me to Hawaii is my fiance.
Why would you not want to live in Hawaii, though?
Well, my thought there was it's so far away from my friends and family and a lot of the activities that I had been involved in, and it's so different from everything I'm used to. I was like, nah, I'm really not interested in that. You know, I'm sure it's a nice place to visit, and I'll absolutely go and visit, but I don't want to move there. And then I came and visited last year, and I was like, never mind, I'm good.
She basically didn't want to come home.
Okay.
I did not.
I don't blame you.
I had to laugh because she's very much a beach person. She loves the beach. She loves going to the beach. And I was like, okay, Hawaii is like beach central. You're going to love this.
Yeah, right.
So look at that. The big sister
this
knew.
is the funny thing is like, this is the funny thing is, as I was saying, I don't want to move to Hawaii. Everybody else who knows me is going, yeah, you do.
Yeah, right.
I really probably should have listened to them, but yeah, that was kind of the funny thing. So ironically, I was trying to convince my significant other, move to Michigan, and I was trying really hard to talk him into it, and then I got here and I was like, I have no idea what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Why was I trying to talk him?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm in Hawaii and my fiance is saying, no, move to Michigan, I'd be like, well, this marriage isn't happening. I don't care if you love me, but you have to love Hawaii because I ain't leaving. So, yeah.
It's funny. We came to the agreement that I would come to visit Hawaii and then we would make a decision, you know, from there. We'd both try to keep an open mind and make a decision from there. But I came and visited Hawaii first, and I was, never mind, I'm good. We'll live here.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
Yeah, for me, I think, you know, one of the things that was forefront of my mind is Debbie and I had been very involved in Civil War living history in Michigan, and I was like, okay, I'm going to have to give that up when I move here, right?
Yeah.
Well, as it turns out, no.
Oh. Really?
So there are, Hawaii has a Civil War roundtable.
Oh.
And they do actually do some living history things. A group of them was just at the 160th Gettysburg event.
You're kidding.
And they do things around the islands as well, because believe it or not, there were some Hawaiians who enlisted in the Union Army and fought in the Civil War.
I believe that. I didn't know that, but I believe that. Yeah.
Imagine making that trip on a boat.
I just found that out not that long ago.
No, you make it on a boat and then you go over land, right? I mean, how would you, or would they go all the way down and around?
Train, you know, like train across.
Train? They didn't have the Transcontinental Railroad then.
No, I guess you got to take a steamboat because steamboats were big. I mean, like river boats. You take. So I'm imagining. Maybe they could. Well, no, they'd probably make landfall in California.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then they'd have to take a wagon train over.
Railroad and then, or first
right, to like Chicago or something, and then take the trains east or wherever. Wow.
They'd probably be fighting out in that that side. What's that theater called? The
Western Theater?
No, Western Theater.
Or the
North Carolina stuff.
Trans-Mississippi.
No, Trans-Mississippi. Yeah. All right. Well, so Erin.
I'm also learning about, but boat over to California and then California overland to wherever they ended up fighting.
That's crazy. That's real dedication, I'll tell you that. Or life must have sucked in Hawaii. When was Molokai a leper colony?
Yeah. So from my understanding, that was it was kind of a for a couple hundred years at least.
Right.
all things that I get to learn about now, brand new history, a new area of history for me to explore that I have never really read about before. But I believe, and don't quote me on this, but I believe it was from like the 1600s through to the 20th century, early 20th century, somewhere in there.
The
Not 100%
1600s?
positive on that though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
1600s.
It's been like a long time.
Things do you want me to Google?
All of the things.
Lord. By the way, if you
Let me
want,
Google the things because I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah. Come on, Deb.
if you want to donate to relief efforts in Hawaii, it's the usual suspects: the Red Cross, FEMA, Salvation Army, United Way, all of those.
Okay.
That's what I'm currently finding.
Okay, that's yeah. All right. So while she's looking up when Molokai was a leper colony, Erin, I hope the wildfires don't spread too much on the Big Island. I hope they can get that under control and you remain safe and everything like that. And
I got those dates for you.
Pardon?
I got the dates for you.
Oh, yeah, I've got dates for you. 1866 to 1969.
I called her on a different line.
That's what it was. 1866.
Oh, Cindy got the dates? What is the dates?
1866 to
1866 to
1969. Okay, so about 100 years. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah.
More than 8,000 leprosy patients lived on the settlement over those years.
8,000. Jeez.
leprosy, man.
Well, it is highly contagious.
Yeah, and was it administered by the Catholics? Like taken care of? Was it a Catholic thing or? Because it was like Father Dominic or
I
someone.
think that was a Catholic mission, if I
Yeah.
recall correctly.
I can't remember the big.
Yeah,
There
I
was
wanna
like
say
a
it was
big
a
priest who was like made famous for his work at the leper colony. I can't remember what his name was.
Steve Worley says that Van Horn Ellis was offered command of the Hawaiian Navy.
Oh, that's right. I just heard
Isn't
that.
he one that was killed here? Yeah.
Yeah, I just heard that somewhere else. It might have been Steve saying it on one of my driving around videos.
Might have been.
Listen, Erin, we got to get to dinner. So thank you very much for calling in. And thanks for listening. Your sister loves it. She's touched by it. She misses you very much.
I do.
And,
It's true.
And she cries.
Oh, I miss her too.
Oh, that's
Okay,
very
maybe
sweet.
not with the crying, but
Anyway, thank you
Oh,
for
well,
calling in.
thank you guys for taking good care of my big sister. Since I am not there to do it, I'm glad she's in good hands.
Yes, she is. She is. We have a lot of fun with Debbie. Your name's Debbie, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad.
Thank you.
I'm just kidding. Erin, thank you very much for the call. And keep listening. We enjoy your comments. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Take care of yourself. All right. Just a couple of things here. On the paving thing, you can pave in the cold weather. I think it was what Ghost of Sickles' Leg is saying. He says you just got to get the right mix. So there you go. And let's see. Ricky Burge says, I support Sims. Pave it all. Josh McDowell says, nose hairs coming in nicely, Matt. I guess I haven't trimmed yet. Oh, no, that's my mustache growing up into my nose, I think is what you're looking at.
I hate when that happens.
I do too.
It tickles
I have
the
to get.
worst way.
Well, you know, and then the razor blades, right? You know how they have the one blade on top and like the 37 blades on the other side, right? So you get your face in the head with and then I get that one blade. Always cut my nose somewhere
Why don't
around.
you just get a nose hair trimmer?
I have a nose hair trimmer. I use that too. It goes up the nose. But I'm saying to separate the mustache.
I thought you were going into your nose.
Yeah.
You're shaving like right the line where the.
I shaved the. Oh, I would never. Oh, are you kidding? Oh,
That's what I thought you were showing. Like, that
God.
makes me hurt.
Oh no! I have an electric one. It goes up your nose. You know, yeah.
That makes me feel better.
Wow. But Dana Lupfer says, need to send Matt a nose hair trimmer. I guess.
Apparently not.
Do I
He
have
has
a big one? I must have had a big one.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I thought I pulled them all out earlier today. Make sure they don't roll down rocks, go further to right. Gene Hutchinson, I wish the battle walks could also be held in the fall when it's cooler. Well, they're going to do them in the fall, just not as many.
Not yet. Yeah,
Right.
not as many. Not yet.
Right.
At least it's not up on the website yet.
Jim is a very entertaining speaker. That's very true. You know, we had this summer, Veronica, Cindy, myself, Kathy, Veronica's mom, went out every Sunday night to dinner with Jen Murray and Mike Warriker. And we had a lot of fun throughout the summer with them. And we were talking about speakers, and how, some, of course, everybody has a different style and everything like that. But yeah, there are a lot of entertaining speakers. And I think, personally, that is the way to go. If you can be.
Yeah.
Or have some kind of charisma. Because I've seen some speakers who are not as, they're drier in their delivery, but they throw in a joke with the same deadpan delivery, which is hilarious, and it works. Mm-hmm. Christian Keller is who I'm thinking of. He has a very professorial way of delivering, but he threw in a couple of jokes, if I recall correctly. I think it was in the beginning of the talk that he did at CWI. And, so it's funny. Like, he has a good sense. That works, too. Everybody's got a different style. And, of course, everybody responds differently to all the different styles there and everything like that. Okay, Van Hornellis, we saw that. I've heard and read that a few places, but Gary Edelman mentioned it in last year's Battlefield Trust anniversary episode. Yeah, it could have been that. I don't know. Anyway, I think that is about it for us here today. I think we've covered everything there is to cover. Amy, thank you very much for recording the commercials and for coming on as our guest today. Colby, as always, thank you. Cindy, thank you for looking up the answer there. Debbie, thank you for looking up the answer. We have 2 Googlers apparently now.
Hey.
And,
there's room for everybody.
There's
to play
room
in the
for everybody. Because, sometimes... Googling can be tricky sometimes. It doesn't always...
Especially when you get the multiple questions all on top of each other. And you're like, hold up.
Yeah. You need to bring a laptop in, I think, from now on, so it's easier for you to look this stuff up. Anyway, that's all. Thank you all for listening. Thanks for calling in, Mike and Erin. Thanks for the memories. And the memories. And we will all be back. Well, not all of us, but we'll be back next week.
Gettysburg Today is produced by Matt Callery and Veronica Brestensky, Esquire, and broadcasts from the Gettysburg Museum of History Studios. Engineered by Colby Sumner and sometimes someone else. Guest accommodations are provided by the guests themselves. Who are we? Vanderbilts? But if you want us to take better care of them, become a patron at patreon.com/Addressing Gettysburg. I'm Huevos Grande, the voice of Addressing Gettysburg. Thanks for listening.
So he made a thoroughfare for freedom and her trade.
Son of a bitch. You goddamn son of a bitch. You goddamn mean son of a bitch.
Say it faster.
You goddamn mean dirty son of a bitch.
And your stupid sound effects. Oh, there's a swamp dragon. I'm not Chattanooga. Bonfire. Kathy. No. I'm afraid. A unicorn? Otterspan, Broderson.
I love this podcast.
This concludes our broadcast day.